Dialed in
to Box and Brews, you might hear something
you can use.
like tips under cash and tips on the suds.
You're gonna want to
The
use
smarts of these stuff.
because they know the
And
brews.
they know the box, and they know they can't help the stubborn fucks.
So listen up, because shit's not funny.
Save yourself some
Beer money. Bucks
and brews.
Bucks and
Bucks
brews.
and brews.
Bucks and brews.
Welcome back to Bucks and Brews. For those of you joining us on Twitch, it was like 8 minutes ago.
Yeah.
For those of you joining us elsewhere, it's like a week ago.
Yes, thing. Today's episode is brought to you my Christmas present.
Yes.
Mob craft beer out of Milwaukee. I have 24 random beers in a box. I walked over and grabbed a couple. Finishing up Belgian Quad. And my other ones, I grabbed a random Too Legit to Wit. It's a unfiltered Belgian style wit. I have Fish Fry Rye, which sounds really great. Lager with caraway seeds. I'm gonna go Kerouac on your ass. So and Milwaukee white chocolate milk stout.
Oh, that sounds
White chocolate
Yeah.
vanilla,
That sounds
cocoa nibs,
really
and
good.
lactose. It's got Michigan on it, so you know it's a badass. So we'll see how much more I drink, but I think that's a good oh damn.
during our Christmas party here that I had a really shitty time at.
Yeah.
I had lobsters and tacos,
Oh,
which it said on it contains no lobsters or tacos, which is good because I'm allergic to shellfish, but
right.
it was actually really good beer.
Tacos may have made a nice addition to like chocolate stout or something like that.
It might have. So
Mike, what do you or so David, what are you
yeah,
drinking?
let's go with me because we know I'm actually drinking. So I have an Untitled Art ice cream waffle pastry stout, which I'm drinking right now, and it's delicious. Then I have a sponsor,
Yeah.
Mr. Michael Benson there.
Nice.
Dewclaw Brewing, the Pastryarchy
That was
Irish
pretty
cream
good.
dessert stout. And I can't wait to
pretty
try
good.
that.
Destroy that, please.
Absolutely. And then I am also sponsored by Nick's mom. I have a Mob Craft beer, Limonita Love, which is ale with lemon and lactose. So excited to try that too. Mike, I know what you have, but tell everybody.
I mean, I'm still on the almost out of in this bottle, the City of Portage tap water, and that's pretty much it. With I don't think I'm gonna have any more popsicles tonight, but there might be occasional escapes from the camera view when
Yeah,
deal with other business.
that's all right. And
Joe, Mike has a medical procedure tomorrow, so sometimes he has to run away, literally run
Friday.
away.
No,
Friday.
fair enough.
Sorry,
No,
Friday.
and
Close
say
enough.
back again from for another episode. He was brave enough to come back, so we're doing something right. Mr. Joe, what are you drinking?
And I got another one that's another flavor in there that I might pop open in a minute. But right now I've got just a KBS espresso. Just so.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
say
KBS
I didn't
espresso.
mind it. It wasn't. I like KBS as itself.
Yeah, you do.
And it's weird. It's like I love coffee in my beer, but yeah, I don't know. I mean,
That's-
the espresso was just a little different for me.
We went to
So
Grand
ends up
Rapids
almost
Brewing.
being too coffee. It was like, remember going to what was it, the Hangar or whatever?
Oh, yeah, that was
Spain
way
at
too
one
coffee.
time, and
Oh yeah.
it was more like
Be there.
licking coffee grounds
Yeah.
than
I like that bean flicker from Odd Sides.
That's good, too.
Yeah.
Really good coffee level.
Yeah,
We went to
great.
Grand Rapids Brewing after the drive game that we
Yep.
trooped at. And, my wife won a mug club there.
Yep.
So I'm like, you like the Polar Espresso? And she's like, what? I'm like, the Polar Espresso, you like it? She goes, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm absolutely positive. So they bring it to her and, it's dark. And she goes, and she tastes it and she goes, oh yeah, I like this.
Right.
sure tastes exactly like coffee.
It does.
And
So,
very little like beer.
Mr. Joe, you and I both live in Ottawa County. We, in this past, week or two, have had a shit show happen. Why don't you kind of walk us through a little bit about what's going on?
Yeah, and I mean, there's so many little facets, so many little angles, but the long and the short of it is, the county itself has been abandoned by both parties politically for a very long time. The Democrats didn't want to invest anywhere on this side of Lansing, and the Republicans saw us as an opportunity to be a money person, not much else. So there's no real on the ground organizing that's ever happened here over the last few decades. And that was a ripe opportunity for the far right MAGA faction of the Republicans to kind of sweep a takeover in the primary of last year. And that led to them winning the general, because that's generally what happens here. And there was no kind of event to wake up the population to realize this could be a serious risk to taxpayer money specifically, but, also to our reputation nationally. And those were things that I talked about when I was campaigning myself. But to be honest, just a single seat on that board isn't going to change anything. So we really needed an event to wake up the community to what these folks are all about and how much damage they can do, not just to our county, but frankly, to a regional economy. And so they got elected, they got swept into office, and they were very, very comfortable, and they were very cocky. And, depending on who you ask, if you ask me, I think they overplayed their hand. They did all the things that they were planning on doing, and they did them as brazenly and as horrifically and as quickly as possible. And it's had ramifications that they couldn't have anticipated, and ramifications that I kind of anticipated, but the degree is just beyond the scale that I could have thought. And at this point, I can tell you for certain that this is national news. And if people across the country haven't read it yet, I've already seen reporters talk to reporters in national outlets that are going to be publishing some pretty serious stories on this.
And so the people that you're talking, what are they? I can't even think of their name. It's been a long day.
Ottawa Impact.
Ottawa Impact, right? And they gosh, just as much as they wear their MAGA hats, they wear their Ottawa Impact shirt. And it's funny. So my daughter, I have a 7-year-old, goes to Jenison, El Puente, which is actually a very diverse school. And it's funny because
Spanish immersion.
Right. But we all know how much I love to wear rainbow stuff in general. But I'm not as much as I'm a people person, don't come up and talk to me about your political stuff, because I don't want to talk about it. I don't care if you support me or if you're if you're with me or against me. I don't really care. You can come feel comfortable, but just come say, hi, my name is this, or hey, that's a fun hat. Don't be like, oh, hey, what about those people? I'm like, dude, nope, we're gonna take it down here. First of all, I'm Nick. Very nice to meet you. Now we'll talk, right? But
is it very nice to meet you?
No, usually it's not.
Okay,
right?
I'm having fun. I think it's great.
Right. But so so I'm both sides. But I will tell you, right? When there's an old lady that comes and picks up her grandkid, I assume, and is wearing an Ottawa Impact shirt and stuff like that. So I will go stand, literally just be all rainbowed out. I remember the next day, I'll wear my
you're a dick just like me,
dude. I wear the rainbow hat.
Yeah.
I put my rainbow backpack on, which I don't even need a back. It's bowling shoes. That's all that's in there. I put my bracelet on and I just stand there and I'm like, sup.
And that she is so fucking uncomfortable.
Right. But the worst thing is all I'm gonna do is just be like, hey, I'm Nick. I have nothing to say. I need anything else, right? But if you're gonna put your stuff out there, I'm gonna let you know where I stand on this.
So I have this question for Joe. I felt when Roe versus Wade got overturned, it's a bad thing, but I think it was a wake-up call for a lot of people to say, okay, the crazy people are taking over and we kind of need to stop that. And then we have this election in Ottawa County where, like you said, if you had gotten elected in, it still would have been a shit show, because there are so many crazy idiots that got elected in. Was what happened in Ottawa, will it ultimately be a good thing because it's going to wake enough people up to say this is bullshit, we can't continue to go this way? Or are they going to do so much damage in the next 2-4 years that it's going to be hard to come back?
So and I guess there's two questions there, because we haven't really established the damage they've already caused yet. So I want to talk about that in a second. But we're talking about a hypothetical world that doesn't exist because of stuff in the past that has happened that's locked that out, and then the world that we're in now. Hypothetically, if Ottawa Impact wasn't able to take control of this board, and we had the Republicans that were the incumbents there, nominally centrist, but these are pretty right leaning when you look at the rest of the country. If they were still in control of that board, it's not like from a policy perspective things would be super drastically different today. Maybe down the road that's going to change, but they're at least having interactions with people and talking to everybody. and they're part, in for better for worse, being part of the political establishment at the local level in West Michigan. And this is kind of something you only know if you've been immersed in it. Means that you're both insulated from national level politics for structural reasons, like the city council in Holland, and until now the city or the council, the county commission, the board of commissioners, they had a policy of not talking about issues that they didn't have purview over. So if it wasn't under their discretion, they wouldn't talk about it. And so national level politics were kind of locked outside of the discussions. It meant they got a lot of stuff done locally. And, frankly, that's kind of what a lot of what Ottawa Impact is upset about. When it comes to the damage they've done already today, it's, pretty straightforward damage. It's them canceling contracts of competent civil servants that were the guy in charge of administering the county in a nonpartisan way. A thoroughly vetted man, had a $200,000 plus dollar a year contract, instantly canceled that contract, meant that it had to get paid out to him. And then they offered the new one to John Gibbs, who isn't just a political appointee. He was either calculated to try to make the Liberals really upset, which didn't really work. The general voter in Ottawa County is upset about the wasted tax money, but the Liberals aren't upset about like some sort of liberal conservative tiff. Or more likely, and this kind of drifts into the grift, you look at Byron Center, and their Kent County commissioner is Matt Kalman, rather. So that's John Gibbs's county commissioner in Kent County. Matt Kalman's brother is Joel Kalman. Joel Kalman is Joe Moss's business partner. Joe Moss is in charge of Ottawa Impact and the chair of the Ottawa County Board of Commissioners. And the law firm that they hired is Joel and Matt Kalman's uncles and their cousins law firm there. So, I mean, it's all one really, really, really easy, obvious nepotistic grift. But it's going to take some time to unpack the details in ways that make sure that if there's legal ramifications, that those are faced in an adequate and meaningful manner that brings those folks to justice. And, to be frankly, the best description I've heard about this entire situation from somebody, a good friend of mine, said that this very much reminds them of the political mirror of the plot to kidnap Governor Whitmer in terms of the lack of competency and the brazenness. So, I mean, and to put long story short, these guys cost us already over $1 million, hands down. They changed the motto and they have to change it on all the road signs. That's $500,000.
Well, and I definitely want to get into the financial thing because we are a financial podcast.
Yeah,
That's right.
But I guess my first question is it legal for Gibbs to be appointed to the position he's been appointed to, considering he lives in Kent County, not Ottawa County?
So this is actually not uncommon, right? And
Okay.
honestly, as a taxpayer, I want my money going to the most competent civil servant administrator that's going to be able to run the county in the best way possible. And sometimes they are going to come from the neighboring county.
Okay.
That's not the issue with Gibbs. The issue with Gibbs, and primarily my issue with him, it's not just personal. It's bigger than that. This guy is a rank misogynist, right? This for a lot of reasons, this guy didn't get elected, but it's inarguable that one of the reasons he didn't get elected was because in college he took a lot of time and a lot of effort writing these papers, these blog posts about how giving women the right to vote is the biggest disaster in American history, and that women shouldn't be allowed to enter the workforce.
Right. I say I want to kind of, for our viewers, and I know they're gonna, hopefully it gets national and does this thing, but I want to kind of walk back years ago, I guess, when I was a younger kid. Okay, so Holland has numbers, right? So like 16th Street, 17th, and all that. So what I remember back then, right? Like that was the ghetto of Holland back then, right? I mean, crime was happening, things were going bad. And then like over the years, like Holland's been a very accepting community. People have come in. I mean, this whole area has changed to get and grow to where they became, right? I mean, you have more people coming into Gentex, right? Which is a very cultured area. I worked there for years. And so just it really this area changed over time. And now all of a sudden we have this guy that comes in who stands against everything that Holland has worked years to become. And my fear is that it's just going to go back to, people that are completely the opposite, right? Like,
Well, I mean, we're going back to the 50s
yeah.
in a lot of ways.
That's not a bad misnomer. I do want to jump in and address this because there's some nuanced strategy that happened on the side of Ottawa Impact over the summer during the primary specifically, but also into the general. And this is also a weak spot that they have now. And I'm glad I'm glad I think it was Nick that brought up Prop 3 and the abortion discussion, because what Joe Moss and his acolytes did was they went to all the church groups across the region and they had conversations with them saying, oh my God, isn't it awful what the county commission is doing on the issue of abortion? We're never going to do anything like that. Now, they did this in Catholic churches. They did this in Christian Reformed churches. But what they didn't say is, oh, by the way, our primary vessel for organizing is Lighthouse Baptist Church, where the pastor thinks that Catholics are absolute demons. So there's two sides of that coin. The easy side is that abortion is not going to be on the ballot if there's a special election because there's a recall of any of these folks. And I can tell you that my district is the one that is most likely to draw a recall just because of the numbers. But Joe might be facing one from a Republican, who knows? And in a general election as well, there's not going to be abortion question on the ballot. So they're not going to be able to unify around that flag. Moreover, there's going to be serious conversations that are going to be had with the Conference of Bishops and the Chamber of Commerce about, the very thing that Nick said again. This is something that we spend a lot of time as a community working on, being able to, and this is a balance, and people don't understand this, but we've maintained our reputation for fiscal conservatism and overall cultural conservatism, but we've been fighting internally like mad to make sure that doesn't come across as being racist like the rest of the whack job Republicans. And I mentioned this the last time I was here, but Ottawa County jumped 12 points from away from Donald Trump between 2016 and 2020 because we don't want that brand of conservatism representing us as a whole. And that's unified left, right, and center, except for the far right whack jobs that have kind of coalesced power at the county commission level. But I don't think that that's a tenable coalition on their end. And I think the Catholics, and I know as someone who was raised Catholic, would be very upset to know that they were sold a bill of goods by people who think theologically they are going to burn in hell.
Right. And I think there's three of us that were raised Catholic on this podcast. So
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Because even though my father was a Jew, my mother was a Catholic.
Right. And and to me, it's crazy. I'm so sorry. I'm drawing blank. I just texted my wife. She didn't answer.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first things that they did when all of this happened, so it happened in a day, right? So They fire a guy, they hire a guy, and then they come in and they get rid of, and I don't know the words, forgive me, you guys will know, but they got rid of, I'll call it the LGBTQ, but
Ottawa inclusive.
The Ottawa inclusive part. So to make it so that way there's an inclusive aspect. And one thing I absolutely love I'm kind of following some companies. And it's not that I'm not the kind of person that will support just because you're this person. I just won't support because you're this person, right? I don't go, but Gentex came out and was like, hey, no, we want diversity. We want people to want to feel comfortable here. We don't care who you are. I mean, granted, they just want employees, but Gentex is a horrible fucking company. But right, but I will say, and the small companies as well. And one thing, we all are fucking beer drinkers here. One thing we all agree upon is we make fun of all of the conservatives that go drink craft beer because we don't know a single craft brewery that doesn't fly a rainbow flag and doesn't talk about, hey, we don't care what color your skin is because our beer's a different fucking color and you drink it, right?
Well, not only that, but I mean, you and I are fiscally conservative.
Very much.
But socially liberal.
Very much.
Mike is the same. And I would assume Joe is probably in that realm. Am I wrong?
I don't like seeing tax dollars get lit in a furnace. It visceral feeling pisses me off.
You wasted $200,000, and it's only been what, 6 months, maybe?
So I'm gonna say this.
2 weeks.
I worked
it's been 2 weeks.
Oh, so it's per year. He gets $200,000 a year.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I work for a company.
I wish I was that guy for 2 seconds.
I work for a company that has merged with another company.
Yeah.
And we are the largest employer in Michigan.
Okay.
And we have to change all of the fucking signage from the two companies to this one
New name.
new name that most people don't like.
No, nobody
Okay.
likes it. But
No,
you're not the
it's
marketing
terrible. It's
person.
really bad. It's awful. Everybody knows this. So
It's a horrible name.
It's twat face.
I think it was cornhole, but I didn't say that out loud. Anyways, nobody likes this name. I mean, they like the name, and I said at one point to people I work with, I'm like, why didn't they ask employees? And they go, well, they did, and they still came up with this. And I went, that's a horrible name.
Oh,
And at the end of the day, you look at some of these things and you're like, all right, well, I guess that you can go forward with this horrible name. That's fine, but again, I mean, at the end of the day, the name doesn't mean anything. It's what are you getting out of the company? And we still offer, good services, I will say. I mean, other than when you switch a plan at the beginning of the year, they terminate their employees because I didn't have coverage for
oh wow
8 days this month. Oh yeah, they termed me because my wife called to get scheduled a surgery consult, and they went, you have no insurance. And then I had therapy on Monday, and she goes, you have no insurance.
Tell you what, I don't have therapy until Wednesday, okay?
And I will say right now, they knew about it last week and they didn't tell anybody.
Oh,
so you just wrap yourself in bubble wrap, or what do you do for 8 days?
Well, I mean, they'll retro it back, but it doesn't help anybody that is counting on that insurance to feel like they actually have it.
Yeah, and you got the wrong coder, you got the wrong doctor at the office, and then suddenly that's denied procedure. Then you're cascading types of health stuff. That's awful. But
well, and like my wife needs surgery because she's got a lipoma that needs to come out. I have a spot in my lung that needs to have a CT. I can't get a consult for a CT because I have no fucking insurance.
just pay for it.
Pay for it my ass. It's their job.
They'll pay you back.
They pulled my premium out. They need to take care of that
They
shit.
pulled your premium. Jesus.
They pulled my premium out while they canceled my insurance.
That's ballsy. That's so ballsy.
Like, right. Let's say,
I'll get off on my soapbox here, but I'm a little bit on my soapbox.
so I just wrote down because that's a huge question for me. All right, Joe, what can we do, A, as people, B, the government?
Okay, so and I mean the government, I guess there's different levels. Like with the people, I think that the things, the balls are moving. We got to like keep being aware of them and realize that the gears are starting to turn. Folks are getting turned on to knowing that they need to understand what's going on at their county level government at a minimum, and then also at the school board level. So people are understanding how important these local level government things are. And one of the things that's fortunate about Ottawa County, and it's not because I've lived here, but it helps. Is that we have a high degree of competency at the supporter and the volunteer level when it comes to doing things like knocking on doors, making phone calls, and gathering petition signatures. I can tell you, as probably the best petition circulation strategist in the state, that like a recall petition for a local elected official is extraordinarily difficult lift. If I wanted to try a recall in my district or any of the districts over here, the state law says you need to get 25% signatures equal to 25% of the vote to the governor's race in your district. So here, that would be roughly 3,500 signatures to make sure that your validity rate holds and you get enough. I mean, what does that mean? I mean, that's a pretty difficult lift. I don't think folks have gone out and a lot of folks have gone out and gotten 3,500 signatures. I know one person that did that in 9 weeks. You have 6 weeks to get your total signatures. And the thing about that is they have to come from voters in the district, and kind of as like, I guess, a yardstick on that. When I ran, I got very close to, it was a very close race. There were just under 10,000 votes in our race, and I got just over 4,000 of them. So we're looking at getting more than 3/4 of the amount of people that voted for me in an election to sign on the dotted line saying we want to recall this politician.
Gotcha. So it popped up on my Reddit because David made me get Reddit.
I did make you get it.
Ottawa County
Good job, dude.
Ottawa County hires law firm sought to void 2020 election. Bridge, Michigan. I didn't get to read anything into it, but I guess sorry, I thought it was going to be the election that just happened. So that's
No, they hired an attorney's office that thought the 2020 election was stolen.
yeah, and
Which-
that just means
We have 4 people here. Nick, was the 2020 election stolen?
no.
Mike, was the 2020 election stolen?
No,
I say no. Joe?
No, it was based.
Right.
Yeah.
So because I follow Joe on Twitter, I saw you had replied to a man named Curtis Michael.
Oh yeah, this guy.
Yeah, this guy. Who was going after you. And I mean, I've gotten a lot of questions for Joe, but I want to start with this fucking guy.
Please.
And you want to talk for a second about this idiot?
I mean, just some random idiot. I mean, like I guess this speaks to a larger problem of supporter level messaging control,
Okay.
especially with the far right. What this guy's trying to do is modern day web sleuthing opposition research. And the funny thing is, his goal, if you couldn't get him to say it, but his overall goal is to try to cancel me. Now, my clients think like this is hilarious because my clients, a lot of them do opposition research for real. So that's what he's attempting to do here. And, you see that those kinds of interactions in certain ways. And I think it's kind of funny that we started off before we went on the air talking about sports, because for a lot of these folks, that's the level of interaction. You can see a lot of mirror in the trash talk between even us here when we're bantering back and forth about, and for real though, the Lions next year's our year. But like the yeah. But like it doesn't. But we don't have to engage, and we can like seriously nuke each other back and forth on that without hurting our feelings. That's the level that most of these folks are engaging in this stuff at, because it doesn't impact them directly. That's why a message about like why Ottawa Impact is burning hundreds of thousands of tax dollars in a furnace actually has a real impact that they're not able to anticipate, because they're viewing this as a sports contest where people are scoring points based on slamming each other. And we're talking about real money. And the second it becomes real for everybody at that level, it starts changing. So when we talk about this Curtis guy, I don't know, he's trying to hurt my feelings. He's trying to get me fired. He's trying to get people to come knock on my door. It's right there. Come at me, bro.
I'll be right there, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. But like, his general thing is he wants some sort of harm to come to me. And
That's
the
sad.
important thing, it's important thing is I show them that I'm not afraid, and that's it.
Yep. And okay, so like on 2 notes of that, like it sounds really stupid because I'm a hothead and that I really
Same.
like, but the difference is like, okay, so my wife thought it was great that I no longer have a job. Okay. She also realized that was the stupidest thing I could ever do, because I mean, if I go to jail for punching somebody in the mouth for opening their mouth, like
Right.
I A, have enough money to get myself out, and B, like he doesn't give 2 shits. Like, so and these people are at this point of like, they'll go online and it's like, cool, you can be keyboard warriors, they bother me, but they don't, because I'll never see them in life. If you say it to my face, like there's a whole different thing. Like again, if that guy showed up to your house, there's a whole different thing, right? Like now we have a full different problem. And the difference is like between all of us, right? Like we're not going to sit here and talk about death in the aspect, but like I'm going to handle the situation the way I see that it needs to be handled. Right?
So
like you came to me for a fight. I didn't come to you. I posted my opinions. You were opposite of my opinion. You fought the fight, right? Like,
So our all-time favorite guest,
yes.
do you know who it is?
All-time favorite. Mike.
Mike? Who is our all-time favorite guest?
I was going to say Mike's my favorite guest.
Huh?
Steve
Hendy.
Hendy.
Hendy is our all-time favorite guest. So him and I are talking one day, and I'm like, unfortunately, politics have turned into football.
Yeah.
And it stopped being about what is best for everybody, and it turned into, I just want to kick your ass.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we are with
I
politics
just
now.
want to win.
It's
Yeah.
I don't care what the cost is. I just want to
Well,
win.
and then it's funny because I said that analogy the other day. I was like, honestly, I feel like politics is roulette. You have the green that just they don't give two shits and like they just live their life, and you have red and black, right? Red and black are face. You have 49% chance whether and you're just picking a side, going, oh, I think this guy's gonna win, and I'm gonna talk so much trash, and then when you lose, like half of those people will be like, yeah, whatever, I don't really care that this person didn't win, but like it's the fun to like win, and when you win, you're like, yeah, we won, good job for us, like you and
Try to.
yeah, so it's called, my wife just answered, so diversity, equality, inclusive division, or office got closed down.
It did.
The it includes inclusivity.
Well, and the
which-
question is, will there be? Because of course, I go to things I've dealt with in the last year.
Yeah,
So I went to Holland Pride.
you and I both.
We had a booth at Holland Pride
Yep.
for break room therapy. Well, what will Holland Pride look like this year?
I mean, Holland is fantastic city with a fantastic city government with people
It
that
is.
want people to feel welcome. I can say that. I can tell you that when it comes to the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, this office was mostly privately funded, so it's not like they're saving us any tax dollars by getting rid of it. So don't believe them for a second when they try to say that nonsense. The important thing to them was setting a signal that it's not okay for white politicians to try to make life easier for people who are marginalized because of race. That's the entire point of eliminating. What I'm saying is eliminating the diversity department for the county. They eliminated the diversity department for the county to send a message. And I can tell you that message is absolutely clearly received by their supporters, because when we do talk about the replies that I see online, the stupid threats and the bad campaign research doesn't bother me that much. But knowing and getting reminded that my neighbors, some of them are absolutely not, and the vast majority of them are like the most wonderful people in the world. But some of these Ottawa Impact supporters hear the racist dog whistle clearly, and they're very, very happy to repeat the quiet part out loud. And I've seen comments online of a woman who I'm pretty sure works for the counties now, before Ottawa Impact took over, say very clearly that she was happy that they're getting rid of the diversity department, because that would clear up congestion on US 31. And that seems a little bit weird, but US 31 in Holland Township has some of the highest concentration of Asian and Latino Americans in the state of Michigan.
I agree. I mean,
Yeah. It's just a fact. It's a demographic.
right.
fact.
Like,
So out of the four of us that are on here right now, two of you motherfuckers are totally white.
okay.
I'm half white.
Yeah.
I know Joe is Latino.
My mom.
Yo,
Yep.
you're Latino? That's weird.
I know. I think. I mean, statistically probable in this place. So I think
It's
the important thing is that my grandmother never had wooden shoes when she was throwing them at me.
Right. Let's say,
Oh,
Mine totally threw shoes at me.
100%.
yeah.
they
I
went out
don't have to ask what the student is. It's fine.
Right.
It's like,
It's like, the worst thing that happened in my life was Dollar Shadles from Old Navy that just gave her more ammo. But,
I know your grandma. She was
Yeah.
awesome.
she was great. But right, like I don't know. So my wife is very worked up, and I wish she would hop on the podcast and talk, but she's
I do
not that kind
too.
of person, because you guys would like talking to her way more than me. But I look at this, and to be able to fire somebody within 2 weeks, that's and blow $200,000, like I'm not happy to say how much I've blown at a casino, but like it's nowhere near 200K just in a matter of 2 weeks, right? Like I've purchased things that make me wealth, that equal that, but like I don't understand how you're going to be a conservative, which means you can serve, right? Like, and you go and waste $200,000 because, oh, well, it was funded by this, right? Like that's the shit that gets me.
Conservatives are not conservatives
They're
anymore.
not anymore. And like, that's the weird thing to me.
They
Well,
just do crazy shit.
Yeah, these guys did not campaign on fiscal conservatism.
No.
Like, so.
And they haven't, right? Like in years, but it's kind of weird. But like, and it's weird because they'll support the Gentexes who get free land of taxes and get tax deductions because they hire each employee.
So the first thing McCarthy's House did
Yep.
was try to repeal the IRS agents that were
Yep.
funded.
Yep.
And mind you, these IRS agents are funded because in the next 10 years, 60,000 or some ungodly number are going to retire.
Yep.
So we need people to replace them.
Yep.
And they need to get trained. But according to McCarthy and his horde of idiots, we don't need that anymore.
Well, I'm saying that's
And again, tax dollars pay for the things we get.
so we talk about gambling, right? And statistics is a thing, right? Statistics is something that's out there. So if you have a thing that says, hey, at this point, people are retiring later in life because of this. It's not that, oh, hey, I know that Joe is retiring early. And so that means everybody else is financially smart and they're doing it. Like, no, the one guy out of the 60,000 is retiring early. The rest of them are probably actually going to work a little longer. So like move your statistics to be this thing. Understand that we're not sitting here planning, do a 10-year plan, but make it so that it's actually a smart 10-year plan, right? Like, and I don't know, that's the kind of things that bother me about these people is they're wasting so much money because again, you and I know what we could do with money to help. I mean,
look at how much money they're going to change in fucking advertising for their stupid motto.
Yeah.
Again, I work for a company that changed their name.
Stupid motto.
And every time I go someplace, I go, oh, that's got to change. I went to Ford Airport to fly out for our cruise.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's a Spectrum Health. That shit's got to change because it's not Spectrum Health anymore.
Yep.
Every time I looked, Dawn and I went to a chamber meeting at Grand Rapids Chamber.
Yep.
And there was a Spectrum Health thing. And I went, well, that's got to change.
Yep.
How much money are we spending on this?
Well, I mean, but when you're merged, that's a thing that happens.
Oh,
but it's not
okay, but
could they have given it
they
to you?
didn't merge.
Right. Well, they didn't, right?
They didn't merge. They decided we're going to change the motto.
And it's weird. So like, and it's funny because Joe, I respect you for saying that it's not a personal thing. And I give you so much credit, but like, I find it a personal thing because I just can't stand Joe Gibbs and what he stands for,
God,
like
he's
as
awful.
as a person, right? Like, so I give you respect for not for saying, hey, what I'm upset about is it's not a personal thing because, like, it's funny because my wife's like, hey, because she knows.
So you said Joe Gibbs, but you meant do you meant
John Gibbs?
John Gibbs
Yeah, my
or
bad.
Joe Moss? Because
John Gibbs.
two people.
I just like Joe and bashing on him.
But
But
just put them together.
like-
Take them one
but-
person.
right, so like John Gibbs, and it's funny because my wife knows and you guys all know I vote Republican for some things.
You do.
There's people I actually support, and
It's because you're a businessman.
But she asked me, and she's like, and I was like, look, I tell you, guarantee I'm not voting for that guy because I don't like what he stands for, and I don't like who he is as a person. You like, I don't know. Everybody know we talk about it. Like, I'm an asshole, you're an asshole, but we're each other's asshole.
We are each other's asshole.
Say,
I mean, Dave would disagree with me on this, but I have voted for Fred Upton.
there you
Yeah,
go.
I mean,
previously.
he's barely Republican, even if he has Republicans. Fine.
I mean, I don't vote for Upton because he's been in office since I was 7.
Yeah, but the next thing you're gonna get,
And honestly, I've talked to Fred Upton. He's a nice man.
yeah,
He's very nice.
say right, like
Him and I get along, but at the end of the day, I'm not.
Does he drink beer? I drink a beer with him.
I would too.
and that's it. Like,
But
if I drink a beer with you,
where will not vote for a fucking Republican. I don't care what they are. I don't vote for anybody else.
I know that's weird, and it's not weird. It's fine.
So
but,
it's
like,
the easiest thing in the world not to trust Joe Moss because he always has a 9mm on his hip, and it's not because I'm afraid of guns. It's just I know that a man that carries a gun literally everywhere they go isn't going to go to a bar and have a good time. It's just not going to happen.
well, and that's
Sorry.
like okay. So I want because of my Republican side that I want to support. Right, you go to a bar and you carry a 9mm. You know why you're not having a good time? Because you can't legally drink with a fucking weapon on your hip.
No,
Like, okay, so you're not there to drink. You're
Nope.
there for something else, right? Like,
correct.
and that's the thing that gets me. Okay, and that's okay. So
What is it?
you and I are the most socially liberal people we know.
Yes,
We own
we own many guns.
between the two of us. We own way more fucking guns than people care to admit that we actually own.
I got yelled at in 2020 because I bought a 22 rifle that holds like 30 fucking rounds.
right. So like we actually do, like we're gun owners and but we are,
And we enjoy our
we're
guns.
very responsible people.
We are.
Thunderstorm just happened, folks. But right, what I will say is, this guy, he's the kind of guy that makes you feel uncomfortable. You don't want to drink around this guy. You don't
No.
want to just have a good time, because why? You're constantly watching to see if his hand goes in his hip, because you feel like you have to jump on him to stop him from being the guy, right? And none of us want to see that ever happen, right? I mean, and
You and I have gone shooting together.
100%.
Did you ever think I was going to go crazy and shoot like 50 people?
Never once, right?
No.
And but I will tell you, if it happened, you and I both know of the people that would be willing to take you down.
Yeah.
I would
Oh, totally.
I would cry 100%. The fact
Yeah.
that you did something to somebody else,
I
right?
would shoot the shit out of you.
Exactly, right? But like that's the thing that would happen. But because we care about that aspect, right? Because and it's funny because no matter if you've gone shooting with me,
I have.
and you've gone shooting me multiple times,
Yep.
and every time I start out when we go shooting, I walk through everybody. Hey, our hands are off the trigger unless we're ready to fire, and I walk through every weapon that we have that we brought
do.
out. I teach you how to load, because I don't care if you've gone with me 10 times. We start out every time, and they just go, "Hey, boys, this is what we're doing before we go down range." This, and everybody's on the same.
Every gun is different.
Exactly, and everybody's on the same page of what we're doing, how we're doing it, when we're doing it, and so that way we don't have to worry about this aspect of things, right? Like because I'm if you ask my wife, she'll tell you, like, and my wife's probably the one that makes me keep I have trigger locks, everything's in a bag, and everything's in a safe. So technically I have 3 things.
You have a 7-year-old.
She does know. Okay, my mom's the only reason she knows I have guns in the house.
Right. But again,
Yeah.
you have a 7-year-old. So you have to lock that shit up.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
I have nobody.
Right. But even when she's 20, I'll still have trigger locks on them.
If she's there or if she's not.
All the guy.
No,
No,
my trigger locks are not on.
before she was born, I had trigger locks on. I had them all in cases or in zip bags.
Everything for me
And-
is in a case.
and in a
Everything
safe.
for me is loaded.
Yeah, and everything. No, see, nothing's loaded. My
No,
ammo's in
my
completely
shit's
different area.
loaded.
My ammo's in a completely different space. But mine is because my wife is that much more.
Yes.
Hey, you need to be that much safe, and I promised her. My rule to be able to buy a shit ton of guns was I have to oblige by her rules.
Correct.
So, and so I'm okay with that. But and Joe, I like what you say. I mean, this dude does carry it around and you know what pisses me off is the only reason I want to get a CPL is so I can be the guy wearing the rainbow stuff going to the schools, because you can't have a gun on your hip unless you have a CPL. But if you have a gun at school on
You
your hip,
can't have it at school either way.
no, you can.
No, you cannot.
If you have a CPL, you can.
I have a CPL. You cannot have it at school.
Yes, you can.
No, you cannot.
There's like it's a weird loophole is that they
Yep.
can't they can't regulate it. Like they can't enforce. It's the dumbest thing. Like the school doesn't have the authority to enforce like checking.
So, now if it's hidden, if your shirt goes over top of it, whatever, then you're failing what you are, and you could have everything. It's a felony at that point.
My
right.
shit's in my car.
But I'm saying, like, you can legally have it on you, and that's because if you remember the diesel tech shit, the guy that was just ape shit in Granville, him and all the people showed up to the school with guns and stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna put all my rainbow stuff on and show up with my gun and go, mine's shinier. Like we all know I have a couple very, very shiny 45s.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
are-
yeah.
Not to
But-
get off subject
Yeah,
here.
sorry.
Have you ever stood behind an 80-year-old woman
Fact, I have that.
like
shot.
Johnny Bench, ready to catch her when
Yeah.
she shot your 45?
Yes.
Oh wow.
right.
I gotta interrupt for a second.
Yeah,
I don't.
please,
Joe. Go.
I get on one level the chromed out 45, right? Like, but
Please.
like on the other end, like that, like a straight up matte black 1911 full tungsten, like or full.
It's funny, my
Oh.
45 is 1911.
Oh man, yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. No, it's a good. It's a good platform for a handgun. It's reliable. It's like probably one of the most field tested sidearms in the history of the United States. So, but
This guy
like.
knows about guns.
And it's just like obviously it's got a 45 ACP chamber. It's got stopping power. So you guys like if you're trying to stop each other because one of you is going ape shit, I hope you have the 45. I don't know how many. I don't know how many rounds it's going to take with the 22s, but I mean at least you have 30. That's a little weird, man.
But no, like
Hang on a minute.
the reason that mine are shiny in 45 and all that.
Yeah, that's the question. That is the question.
Sure, two reasons. One, it's what the hell I want, and number two, it was on sale like crazy. MC Sports was going on a sale, so MC Sports was going out of business, so I ended up buying two of them.
So hang
because
on a
they were
minute.
so cheap.
Joe's liberal,
Very.
but he's talking about guns.
Yeah.
And I thought that was illegal.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
is
like
illegal.
I'm from a family of hunters. You know, my grandpa died. My grandpa's oldest went to his house to make sure he got the shotgun, so nobody else in the family got it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I want to talk about grandpas for a minute
Yeah.
because my grandfather was Antifa.
Really?
He landed on Normandy.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
And then I saw a
True-
video
true
yesterday.
Actually, that would be Antina.
Okay.
He had to have gone and landed in
Italy? I don't know.
across Africa into Italy to be officially Antifa.
Okay. Well, either way, he landed on Normandy. And then I watched a video yesterday of Joe talking about his 3 favorite Antifa people, 2 of them being his grandfathers.
Yeah, I think if you participated in the war effort at any level in World War II, you're an Antifa member. So
Oh,
like,
I would agree. Yeah,
okay.
it was
But
more
like,
of a, it was
so
more of
I
a
did-
joke.
But I did say killed literal Nazis. And now I want to
Yes.
clarify that J.R.R.
Please do.
Tolkien did not kill, like probably didn't actually kill with like literal Nazis. He definitely killed proto-Nazis in the Somme when he was fighting World War One.
World War One, correct.
And he definitely murdered the shit out of some Nazis with words. That was a fact.
Yes.
That like absolutely happened. I was misspeaking when I misspoke. I wasn't reading what I was reading. I was trying to say my grandfather's killed Nazis because my grandfather's killed Nazis, and I'm very proud of that fact.
He probably,
I am
J.R.R.
too.
Tolkien probably, like you said, helped ensure there were a fewer Nazis.
Yep. And I mean,
Because he
like,
killed the parents that could have, the dads who could have bred Nazis.
yeah, I will say that a lot of the stormtroopers from World War One end up becoming members of the SA, the brown shirts, who were actually led by probably the first known gay politician. And obviously he was killed by Hitler sooner or later, Night of Long Knives there. And that's when Hitler split the SS off from the brown shirts. So like, and those were the people, if Tolkien killed anybody, it was the people that were going to later become the brown shirts and then the SS, which, I mean, if you're going to go for Nazis like that, you're bang for your buck. You might as well kill the ones that are going to become SS.
I mean, we all can agree Inglourious Bastards was a great movie.
Oh my God.
But so Joe, my wife keeps wanting me. Okay, so I don't go because I know I'm a hothead. My wife wants me to keep going. To all of these board meetings, and she wants me to go. She wanted me to go Monday. I couldn't find out what the 9:00 a.m. was. Is it something that I need to go to? We need to go to as people. Like, what is your feeling upon this?
So I think that there's a few different levels that you can participate. And I think that if you're versed in social media, I mean, like if you guys came on here and like you streamed it on YouTube, like into your stream and you paused whenever you needed to rip somebody apart, I think that would be pretty freaking cool. Not a lot of folks do that. It's a difficult type of stream to pull off, but like barring like mixing the brand in on it, like if you want to show up, just getting the body in the room is a big support. And especially if you can have a couple, like people walk up to you expecting you're going to be like some sort of arch conservative dude that's going to talk to them about how important their specific type of Jesus is. Yeah. I mean, look at you, man. And so,
Right.
but like, yeah, like if you want to do that and like surprise a couple people, that's good. Like my feeling is keeping the folks that are saying the things that are mean on their heels is the most important part. So, I mean, like, you know, I can go in there and be a firebrand like I was this past week.
Yeah.
But that's not always the correct tone. Sometimes there are other tones that even I need to hit. So.
See, and you're smarter than me because I don't know how to do any other tone besides strict. I will tell you to go fuck yourself. I will call you straight out how it is. And right, like I don't know any other way. And I'm learning in my age that there's ways to talk to people. I have to ask myself, is it worth it to talk to people in a different way? Right. But you know, there's a couple of people, again, the people that walk up to me just because I'm wearing a hat, they're like, oh, you should show up. And I'm like, and then all of a sudden they're like, well, Ottawa Impact, they're very aggressive. They'll gather around your car. And at that point, right, like, hey, if you want me there, I will be your bodyguard. Trust me, ain't nobody going to touch you in the parking lot, because if they do, I have no problem being your bodyguard, right? Back up, you're gonna back up, and I'm gonna walk you straight to your car, right? Like, oh, he pushed me. Yes, I did. I'll say it on camera. I'll say it this way. Like, this is exactly what I did. This is how I did it. This is like, I will never perjure myself under oath, right? And I will never be mad about the decisions I've made, right? Because I think clearly, when I do these types of things. So, have you found that people will bully before, during, and after?
I mean, so like I have not seen that happen at the Ottawa County Commission meetings. I have seen bullying happen at these types of things, and I've seen it happen in different events when it comes to like left right politics, and I've seen it happen when it comes to not left right but local, like pretty intense local housing politics. Like the bullying stuff happens. And I mean I think that one of the reasons we all get along really well is because like at different levels for different reasons, whatever it is, we've had to bully bullies. I've done it my entire life. I think it's fucking fun. I don't know why. Yeah,
you and I love trolling. I can tell that about you.
I don't
like we pick fights just because we have nothing else to do on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's right. My girlfriend's like just like gets so surprised when she hears me like make a political enter a political discussion or frame a political argument or see me write something like my speech this past Tuesday, because she's just like, you just don't talk like that aggressive ever. And I'm like, well, I mean, like I was definitely a bigger kid. I was definitely bullied, but more importantly, I had like 14 uncles, right? So like, it's just stupid. Like I don't know who they think they're coming in at that level. So if they are trying to do the bullying thing, like there are places where that can work, and maybe Ottawa County was one of them for the primary for the Republicans, and that was definitely their tactic against the incumbent Republicans, was to try to bully that. And I want to, I've taken a lot before, I promise. I just want to tell one little anecdote about this. One of the Ottawa Impact people called me last week to apologize about the process after the meeting on Tuesday. And we don't gotta go out naming names.
No, right? It's fine. Keep them secret. That's fine.
Yeah, and like we're gonna trust and verify and see how things are going. But like, I'm like, I run this guy through the coals with absolutely everything. Hey, we were at the speaking engagement, and you spoke there, and I spoke there. We didn't talk, but you talked to my girlfriend. What's up with that? And he got on his. I was like, no, I would have done the same thing. But it's just like, I'm like talking about, a few other things. One of the things is like, well, Joe has me blocked on Twitter, which is like, whatever, I'm having fun with it. But like, you kind of have me blocked on Facebook right now. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, dude, like, it's not that I care, but like, it's a bad look. But yeah, and his explanation was that, like, Joe, like, you say things that are really forceful, and sometimes it makes people not want to respond. And I'm like, well, I'm a jerk. And in my head, I'm like, that's the point. But I'm like, I'm a jerk. But like, more importantly, man, that's like, it's really, really hard for me to hear that coming from you, because your entire organization got elected in the primary by deploying that as a specific targeted strategy against the incumbents. You guys were vicious. And I'm happy to say this, that the communications to the previous council are probably still available through the Freedom of Information Act, and those might come out, and some of them might come from Ottawa Impact people, and they might look really, really bad.
Yeah.
So, but like the reality is, they had a supporter level messaging problem, or it was a strategy where they sent their people to try to bully the existing, commission members who, Republican, Democrat, these guys were like, essentially just pretty nice old dudes.
Yeah. And that's right. Like it's bad when you see that there's decent people still and they're just on the wrong team, right?
Yep. And then they lose. Well, they lost because of it. So
let's see.
So some of the trolls, let's go there for a second.
Us.
No, not us. Like way worse than us.
Oh.
So some of the things I've seen recently on Twitter is Joe's from Oakland County.
No shit, you gangster, you. Hell
I lived
yeah.
in Oakland, California for 2.5 years.
Oh, Oakland, California.
Or that.
I lived there. I was working on the housing crisis.
There's a crisis?
Yeah, apparently there's it's really, I mean, I can tell you that it's a surreal feeling paying $1,725 for a 300 square foot apartment while going out to work trying to solve the housing crisis.
That's a problem.
It feels like it feels like you're like, running with the Red Queen behind you, trying to chop your head. You're just going staying as fast as you can, just not get your head chopped off.
But
You say what's the problem,
yeah.
but you don't fucking charge.
So
I told you it's
here's my question, Joe. Could you have lived 30 miles away and it took you an hour to get to work, but live for half the price?
No, like it's just not like that in California, in the Bay Area.
Oh, the Bay Area, God,
Yeah,
no. Like
no.
the Bay Area is crazy.
Yeah.
But
So
tell
is
you what,
once you get down into the San Diego area, it's pretty much just as bad.
yeah,
It's pretty much all of California, and I mean, like, you got to understand that, like, the types of fights that we were actually getting in. I was going to places like Cupertino, where Apple is headquartered, and we're looking at average home of like $2.4 million, and they're like, you're going to the city council meetings, and they're telling you that they can't build apartments next to the Apple headquarters because it'll lead to a prostitution problem. And you're just like, you obviously know something is very fundamentally wrong with the local political scene at that level. But yeah, no, it's not. It's different than here. And even here, like, if you move 30 miles out, maybe you can save it on rent, but then you're one car breakdown away from a financial nightmare.
no, and I get that. I mean,
Well, and
it's, I don't know if we talk, like, I'm a landlord, right? I've been for 14
Well,
years.
are you a property manager?
In theory, yes, I manage my own properties. I own my own stuff.
So as a property management's a legitimate job that people don't understand. So
Yeah, I mean, no, like I used to, actually, I just got fired.
you did.
2 months ago, whatever. So I used to manage about 450 units.
holy shit.
So, and then now I
Holy
just manage my own stuff. It makes you pull your hair out. It makes you, I mean, right? Like, I'm pretty sure I lost 10 years of my life.
We did have a lot of fun conversations, though.
Some great ones. And it's funny because, and it's all right. So I know we just sidetracked. Way to go, Joe. You just sidetracked.
We're gonna do that again, though.
But like, so I looked at my Facebook memories, and my daughter had her first skating party a year ago or whatever for her school.
Okay.
And I posted, I was on a job site for that company.
Yeah.
And I said, man, this is the tough part of being a landlord or being a manager, is you have to go do the things and you're gonna miss out on your family. And like, now looking back at it, I don't know why the fuck I did it. Right. Like, I
Right.
would always choose my family versus doing that. But like, I
Right.
was devoted to that sense because I thought that would give me to the next level of different things. But
But you thought it was a higher order of serving your family. Like, let's be very clear about that.
Yeah,
It was,
right.
yeah. You thought you're doing a next level of friend. My dad growing up, exact same thing. And like, I saw this man beat the shit out of himself over, while we were on vacation, over leaving the restaurant for a week,
say, yeah, actually, that's the thing that pissed me off. Okay, so I worked on all of my vacations throughout this entire company. We went on the cruise.
Yep.
They didn't pay me for the week I went on my cruise because they said, you used your vacation. And I said, I answered the fucking phone every single time you people needed me for all of the stuff, except for this week that I was out of the country. In theory, I took 0 vacations. I answered emails. I did everything all the time. I can work from home, whether my home is here or whether it's in Florida or New York, or I was bowling nationals with my best friends, doing whatever, and still getting shit done. And like, so my response back was, it is what it is. That's fine. If that's how you're going to be, I'm okay with it. Right. Like, and that's just it. Right. Like, I don't care. Like, it's not about the money aspect. It's about the respect aspect to me. Right. Like, and when we had our party, he's like, look, I know you don't need the money. I know you don't care about it. I know whatever, but like, this is where I have to be. And I was like, we're on the same page. It's the rest of your company that's not on the same page. Like, and so, and okay, so like, I tell you what, that's my problem with liberals, is the fact that I tell them I'm a landlord and I say rents aren't that high and stuff like that, and I back my own bit, and they just rip on it, and I'm like, you're not worth my time.
Again, I'm a liberal.
Yeah, but
I understand where you're coming from.
exactly. But like, you and I have had millions of people on Facebook that will.
You can't deal with the fucking people. The people on Facebook.
It's Joes. It's the Joes of the Facebook. No,
I can tell you that, like, I understand housing, so I can approach it differently. Like, my issue isn't ostensibly like against landlords. I think that's a fairly socialist position, being 100% again. I will say anti-landlord stuff. I will repeat anti-landlord slogans at times, just out of convenience. But my problem is with landlords that show up to block additional housing, especially multifamily housing, especially apartments.
But okay, so God. this
So-
could be a great conversation. Okay, so what if
So
you know that the person that's building the housing owns around you and is literally known as the slumlord of the area? Why would you support them in getting additional housing?
Okay, so the very first thing that I need to hear out of a landlord that's coming at me with this position is exactly where they think it's appropriate for housing to get built at that level and by whom. Like, show me a map. Like, show me a map where you think it's okay, and then we can talk about it. Because, like, I want to have everything out on the table. You know.
So okay, so like here's the true facts. Okay, so you're how long are you familiar with Wyoming?
Yeah, I know Wyoming. Like, I've
Studio-
made video. Yeah, so I know
Studio
Wyoming.
28.
I know where that used to be.
Okay, so that's now housing.
Yep.
Okay, so one of the biggest financial backers actually owns all the other 8 units around one of my 8 units. He literally is known to be a slumlord in a sense of things. He and the property manager, the owner, whatever. So why would, and the city hates him, but they've approved because they need more housing, right? So you've allowed a guy who is just hated, and he's going to be just a horrible landlord. He's going to be a horrible person. He's not offering these things. I get that I didn't bring the money to the table, but like, why would you allow this person to build versus waiting for a better opportunity?
I think that Jack Pohl might have been the first politician that I've ever gone at in my life. Back in college, way back in the day, in the city of Wyoming. And I've definitely had some conversations about with some folks about the Wyoming Planning Commission specifically and their views of Kentwood, which weren't like publicly were very, very awkward for me to hear. I will say that, like, so you have an individual guy that's a slumlord, yeah, that's fine. But like, in order to lend credibility to that statement when we're in a multifamily housing shortage, like, the only thing I need to know is like, who are you okay with having build, and where and what?
Who
And
am
so
I
for-
okay with having build? Well, honestly, me, but no.
No, because like, if we, for instance, if we went to every major city, like every municipality that was labeled a city in the state, and we said 100% of your land area has to be by right for duplexes, triplexes, quadruplexes, and apartments up to 35 feet. With certain areas, you need to have apartments with either no height restriction or a height restriction much higher than 35, 80 feet, whatever. Like, and you say that's across the board, I can tell you that the first people in line to yell about it are going to be landlords of multiple single family homes. But the reality of
Really?
the reality, yeah, absolutely, in every municipality. But the reality of the impact is going to be the apartments actually get built in a kind of spread out way, and they
Yeah.
kind of get mixed in with everything.
Well, see, and it's weird, I guess, because like, and that's what separates me from those people is the fact that, dude, I want you to build the newest and the best because you're going to get the highest price for the time being, and I'm
Right.
going to be lower than you, right? But my brain is literally just about the purchase. It's not about the whatever. And so I guess I could. It's funny because I never look at things from. I'm so glad you said that because I never look at things from that aspect of things, because my income is going to stay. Like, I'm very confident and very.
Liberals are not going
I'm
to
just-
come at you with
I'm-
supply and
I'm
demand. That's
just
not
a
their
good
gut instinct
person.
argument.
Say-
Like, do you catch that? I'm sorry. Liberals are not going to come at you with a supply and demand argument instinctively. That's
No,
not
they're
their bread
just-
and butter.
It's financial. That's all it is.
Yeah, and so for me, this is a supply and demand issue when it comes to the housing market. And
Sure.
just build the houses next to the jobs, man. Just let the folks
Right.
build it. And one of the miracle things about Grand Rapids is the multifamily housing and those old Victorians on Heritage Hill. I just, like, holy crap! You pack eight units in there? That's amazing. That's illegal in most cities.
Yeah.
Most cities,
It's,
like, that's
yeah.
illegal, and not because of fire codes or any real safety reasons, but because people just don't want. They think that renters are bad people. So, and I'm sure it's difficult to find great renters, but once you find those great renters, how much do you value them?
I've never once met a liberal that said it's hard to find a great renter. Like, dude, Joe, we could be more friends than you think we're going to be friends. Like, I
That's because you're more liberal than
no,
you want to
to
admit.
respect the
I
fact
will
that
say I
this
think
guy's
the-
talking.
I will think that
Holy
the,
shit
I
balls.
will think that the threshold for greatness for us is going to be we're going to have a different disagreement about that level. So,
No, so like, all right, so I have an average of about 8 years turnover. I'll tell you that. Right. So finding a great tenant, it's great to have it. And I do a good job at it, right?
yeah, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head somebody that's lived in a same home in a rental for 8 years, like anywhere in the country. I couldn't tell you.
Right. But it's again, my prices are low. I offer a quality that's enough for what it needs. And I fix things when they need to be fixed. So, no,
That's the real one. It doesn't happen anywhere in the GR areas. You can't reliably count on that. I think it's a pretty Midwestern city thing. It's tough to get those homes where they're going to show up and actually fix the thing at the home.
Right. So no, and all right. So back to, all right, I don't remember if you answered what can the state or the government do?
I didn't. Can you give me? Can I have like 10 seconds to grab another beer? I'm sorry. It's on
You
the table.
absolutely can,
Bro, no, we never allow beer on this thing.
I'm gonna go grab a beer.
Hey, there's one right there.
I was gonna have that.
Right. So I say, I'm gonna go with the fact that like we are. It's funny because we're all different levels of liberal and things like that, and it's fun when you can. So this is the conversations I absolutely love to have. Right. I want to have a conversation where it's educated. It is.
So you're like more the conservative side of liberal. I'm more the bleeding heart
Right.
liberal.
But we can have a conversation. We're not arguing. We're discussing, and we both come to a, hey, yeah, you're right. Hey, I'm right.
By the way,
I actually enjoy that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maple Mackinac. Yes.
I'm gonna say this right now. I got this because it reminds me of my peoples.
What's that?
Bears fans?
Yeah, those people. Isha.
Are you guys still technically primates? I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
Probably.
They're not.
I don't know
I
if
mean,
this
I think
is
they're technically primates, but they have a different genus. They're not in the Homo side of things. They go more toward the cats.
well, I'm gonna say this is a bourbon barrel aged imperial stout, but it reminds me of my Persian people because of the fucking name.
This
And-
maple mac fudge it's clearly more delicious than the espresso, but I am getting way fatter off this one. That's a fact.
Do you get skinny off beer?
No, but like there's like 2 pounds of fat in this thing. I'm positive. It's just gonna sort of
Probably.
right to my thighs.
But it tastes delicious, right?
Oh yeah, this is one of the best beers I've ever had, man.
So at the end of the day, that's all that matters. By the way, at some point, Joe, I'm going to take you out for beer because I
We're
think
not
we
far.
would have a great time.
We're gonna do that. I think that's right.
So-
Even if the Bears are playing the Lions, I don't think that's whatever.
It's an okay thing because at the end of the day, we all hate the Packers.
Yes.
So I
Even the
have some
49ers fan
questions.
hates the Packers.
I have some questions here from Ottawa Inclusive,
Oh, let's hear these Ottawa inclusive.
which is not to be confused with Ottawa Impact.
Hey, I didn't come up with the name. I think it's a decent name. I just like the acronym. I would have been like, you prepared for that, guys. And I don't know.
So their first question was, some supporters have suggested that the DEI department isn't needed because the board is more diversive than ever. What is your response?
So, like, I mean, the board itself. Yeah, like so, like one, like the people that are making that argument are making a disingenuous argument about representation. These are folks that never cared about representation or fighting racism before. And it's as simple as knowing that the folks that really have fought against racism in Ottawa County have been doing it for decades together. And maybe we haven't been doing it like every minute, like maybe not every single one of us has been doing it every minute of every day, but we know each other's faces and we hang out with each other and we see this and we know when we're doing the work. The folks that are making this argument are clearly not doing the work. And when you say this to them, they won't argue against that. They know they weren't there. They know they haven't been doing the work. They know what they're doing is treating the whole thing as some sort of cynical game. So that's the real. But the other side of this is, and this isn't reflexively, this isn't a reflexive move. Just like using an argument about supply and demand isn't reflexive for liberals, unless you've been active in an active debate setting or you're very, very active in certain aspects of academia, you're not familiar with how to make an intersectional argument or how to examine the intersectionality of these types of claims. And so when they're like, oh, like they can't be anti-diversity, even though they eliminated the diversity department because they put a black guy in charge of the county. Well, the guy they put in charge of the county is still a guy and he hates women, right?
Right.
Black man, white man, this guy hates half of Ottawa County.
That's an issue.
Yeah, and that's straight up. And they all, whether or not it's out of self-loathing or other reasons, they hate people who like people of the same gender.
And so that's just a thing that happens, and but Joe, you mentioned quite a bit earlier, right? Like about the Asian population on 31. But like when we talk, when I talk about most diverse area, I really would say Holland, because like you have the Hispanics, you have the Asians, you have the African Americans, you have the whites, right? Like and they all live all over that area. Like I know a few people that happen to live on Lake Macatawa. I say Kirk Cousins lives. He built a house on the other side, but like, I mean,
I think he's in Allegan County. Yeah.
What's that?
I think Kirk Cousins is in Allegan County. I don't want to be a jerk.
Is he on that side?
I think he is. Yeah.
I didn't know. Like, I thought Lake Macatawa was all Holland.
So no, like the south side, like so Holland is Ottawa County. You're correct. Holland is Ottawa County and Allegan County. It's split.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. So he's on the. I don't know.
I just want to say I do not like Kirk Cousins.
Let's say he just bought a golf course.
No.
He just bought a golf course.
You know how much easier it would how much easier it would be to like the Vikings, or at least think they're okay if he didn't exist. Just like
I totally agree.
I was a huge Spartan fan though. So
Yeah, but fuck that guy.
I don't know much about the guy, so I don't really care. It's funny. I just say the older I get, the more I'm getting out of sports, and as you can tell, because I'm talking trash about my own Lions.
It just takes one Super Bowl, man. It takes one Super Bowl.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you one playoff. Okay. It took 108 years for my team to win a World Series.
Well, I don't have that fucking long to live, okay, bud?
I didn't either. I was born in 77. It only took me like 39 years.
Yeah, but what I say,
you're not 39 yet.
But I guess what I'm saying is, like, in that area, okay, so Holland is the most diverse. Like, you will find, I worked at Steelcase, right? I don't think I worked with a single Asian. I went out to Kenco, which was working for Meade Johnson out in Holland. I worked with Asians. I worked with African Americans and whites. I don't think I worked with too many Hispanic. Well, actually, I did. I worked with Hispanic. Like, that was like, and you walk into a place and you have all of these different nationalities and races, and that's what Holland became, was just so much of an inclusive thing where everybody just mingled, man. Nobody gave two shits what you did, right? Like, we all drank a beer at the bar, and you look down and you're just like, cool, a bunch of people drinking beer.
Well, not Joe Moss.
Right. And say,
well, again, I
drink water. Well, maybe he drinks water. I don't know.
I think Saugatuck's Allegan.
Yep, it is. No, Kirk Cousins, that golf course is Allegan County. Like, I just know that because like I saw that, and then the reason I know that is because M Live put out it's got to be Audra Gamble. It had to be. I can go back and look, but M Live put out a story saying this like about the golf course getting sold, and they're like, and the new owner is Kurt and whatever Cousins, and I'm like, but you don't say who that is. And I looked, and it was obviously, but they didn't say who it was. And I'm just like,
well, the funny thing is so he bought the golf course, not the pro shop / restaurant.
Yep.
So AKA
what?
Yeah. So AKA,
hang on.
Yep.
He bought the course, but not the pro shop or the restaurant.
He bought the land.
Basically the physical property of the course.
Yep.
What the hell kind of sense does that make?
You buy the land so that way you don't have to sell it off because currently developers will pay shit tons of money for it. So
it's a long-term investment or a tax write-off. You take your pick,
that's
but like
exactly
it's got to be a tax write-off. You just like throw $1 million into whatever you want in it.
Cool. Like, hey, you and your wife don't have to worry about whatever. We now own a shit ton of land that will, when you die, we'll just sell off the land, and you won't remember that it was a golf course.
His alternative was that he had to pay taxes on making that money, so he might as well put it in land.
I'm gonna say right now, he's a top 25, maybe a top 30 quarterback.
No, everybody didn't you just see the meme that says he's a Hall of Fame quarterback?
Hall of Fame, my ass. He's a top 25, maybe top 30 quarterback.
Light him up.
No, in the league right fucking now.
He is not a Hall of Fame quarterback.
I could think of 25 quarterbacks right now that I would rather have than Kirk fucking Cousins.
He's not even the best living quarterback that's from Holland Christian.
Probably not.
Go on, I'll listen.
I don't know. I don't have any specific knowledge. I'm just statistically, it's unlikely.
I would agree with you right now. Statistically, it's unlikely.
I'm like, wait, who is this? I don't know.
I'm going on to another question. 'Cause
Go
I
on,
have
please.
questions.
Please do.
So many people don't understand why replacing the previous county slogan is a big deal. What do you think the message is?
Well, I mean, like, it's a very, very simple thing. The previous message was where you belong, and it's saying you don't belong here. Like, and this is an inversion of a very old racist trope that's very, very well known to everybody in the country. And it's you ain't from here, is you, right? Like, it's an otherization of people. Now, the question at that point becomes who does and doesn't belong? Because previously it was like there's no question. Now it's who does and doesn't belong. Now their argument is that freedom implies everybody. And if you ask Sylvia Rhodey, who is the biggest lackey of Joe Moss on the commission, when the rats flee the ship, she's going to be the one rat that decides to spin in a circle on it. But like she has said that people felt like they didn't belong because of the previous slogan where you belong. It's literally the dumbest thing I've ever heard an elected official say, and we've lived through years of Marjorie Taylor Greene. I can't possibly like put some sort of rational frame around what they're doing. The only actual frame that I can put on it is they're trying to own the libs. Like that's the important thing to them. And the other reason that kind of resonates as the justification is because if you look at John Gibbs and the apology that he gave for the stupid misogynist stuff that he did in college was he's like, look, I was trying to own the libs. Well, begs two questions. Why do you think that's an okay behavior for someone that's supposed to administer a county that's increasingly liberal? And two, like, how could you not find a way to own the libs without being a total misogynist ass? So
Right.
yeah.
You know, yeah, I say, and you know what? I don't want to get off topic but I will.
What is the topic?
So,
Yeah.
John Gibbs at that point, but like,
Okay.
so right, like he apologized for the shit he said back in the day, but like we talk about the guy who I absolutely can't stand, and it's in the highest power, right? Our Supreme Court Justice, I love beer,
I love beer.
Mr. fucking Kavanaugh.
Oh.
Like, right, like you come out and like, okay, again, I don't know the guy personally, but like I fucking hate him because of the things he says and the way he acts.
We love beer.
Right.
No.
It's
So
not me
he's-
and Donkey Donk Doug and Gangbang Greg going out and having a fucking good
How
time.
many people have you sexually assaulted?
You know, zero.
Yeah,
I
me
mean,
too.
I've
know,
also
like-
assaulted Zero Milwaukee's best, which is what I'm assuming he means when he's
Oh
talking
my
about
God,
beer, so
totally.
beer, so yeah,
me and my
absolutely,
dad,
just like
we had a
that's like natty.
calendar that showed every time we worked out, and I was like, "What's it have to do?"
I'm gonna say right now
That
that
keg stand.
that motherfucker drinks that light.
No,
Oh no.
That's just saying. That's what he
Is it
fucking
that light or
drinks.
is it that ice?
say, oh, dude, it probably is natty ice.
Natty Ice.
It's ice, it's ice, yeah.
Oh, dude, I can see that. But like, right, like, and so when you show up and you're talking about this, so like, okay, so it's funny because David and I had this talk years ago, and he probably doesn't remember it in a sense, but like, your past is still your fucking past, and it's also your present. You can apologize for what the fuck you did, but it doesn't change anything. I'm a new person. No, you're a fucking person that realized that you fucked up, but you still fucked up and you did stupid shit, which means you have the potential to do that same stupid shit. We've drank and said stupid shit
I say stupid shit all the time.
all the fucking time. What? Not yet.
So previously, Joe has spoken previously on the economic impact of diversity. What is his opinion on this?
Yeah, I mean, so this is pretty simple. Like, what types of chairs are you all sitting in? I see there's like an actual couch up behind Michael, but like talking about.
That's like
Mike.
I mean, Mike has a couch. Nick and I have very green chairs that look like money.
Is that why we got him green?
That's why I got him green, because they look like money.
Huh.
And we do a financial podcast.
Well, I'll turn to the side so people can see.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's
Green.
a cute little Art Deco type thing. That's interesting.
They're not comfortable for 4 hours that we've been going on.
They're
No,
not.
my chair sucks. It's bad. I get like backaches. I'm kind of in the market for a new one, but
Yeah.
I do know that like if you're a huge tech company in Silicon Valley, the chairs that you're going to get probably are going to come from Grand Rapids or Holland, West Michigan. I know that
Herman Miller, steel case.
Yeah.
they like there's the Hayworths are like a massage for your behind is a line from Silicon Valley, the TV show, right?
Oh.
So like you have these. We make some pretty fine ass office furniture in this region, but like I don't know, Try getting a contract with a San Francisco firm while you're living in an area that's famous for hating gay people. I mean, just like try it, see what happens. Because news travels far. And when I say that this is going to be national news tomorrow, it probably is going to be national news tomorrow. Might take a couple days, but I know for a fact that there are big venues that are picking this up. And people in San Francisco don't know about it. People in San Francisco already know about it because this is like a local government thing, and I'm connected to the local government people over there. And they are watching on the side from Twitter. Like, I don't know.
You were in Oakland County.
No.
I was in Alameda County, which is where
those
Oakland,
people got it
California is.
wrong.
Oakland, California is.
They
Yeah,
did
no,
get it
they're
wrong.
no, they're stupid. Yeah, I've never ever lived in Oakland County. I've only ever lived in Grand Rapids, Wyoming, and Holland in Michigan.
Yeah, but
I don't know,
Oakland County.
They texted and they said, "Oh my God, Joe lives in Oakland County and he is not a Western Michigan person."
Are they trying to say that I'm? They might be trying to say that I'm Jewish, which is like
You look
I don't care if I'm Jewish. If
I don't-
I'm not though. I'm just not.
I mean,
I am, but that's
hang
okay.
on, you're not. Fuck you.
I am.
You are not.
I am Jewish.
The only person on this podcast, the four of us, that might qualify as Jewish is this asshole right here.
No.
No. What do you mean no?
Go on. Anyway, now you're telling me my religion. There
My
you go.
entire father's side is Jewish.
Yeah.
What are you?
A person that celebrates holidays.
Fuck you. You are not Jewish,
Anyway,
asshole.
go on.
I look a bit like Jesus, so
I can see that. I can see that.
My grandma thought I was Jesus when she was on her deathbed. That's her.
I'm telling you right
Wait.
now. I want to.
Shh. I have to hear this. For real?
Yeah, that's a real thing that happened. I mean,
Dude.
grandma Spaulding. My grandma Martinez is still with us. My grandma Spaulding thought I was Jesus for a minute, but she wasn't like completely out of it. Like, oh no, it's Joey. She's like, oh okay.
But okay, so she wasn't like the happiest person to see Jesus.
Oh, she was super happy that Jesus was coming for this. So this lady was Omega Catholic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
That's how I know Grandpa would take the gun off Joe Moss's hip and shove it down his neck. You know,
Right,
'cause,
like-
yeah. That's
So-
what Grandpa would do.
right.
I watched the video that Joe had the other day.
Yes. You sent it to me.
I did. I sent it to you.
Joe, I watched your video.
And
Your 2 minutes of fame.
he invoked Jesus in that video.
Yeah.
I mentioned Jesus. He was brought up.
You
Yeah.
did.
Which was
I laughed my ass off right
Yeah.
there.
Joe Moss's brother. This guy's brother shows up at a meeting and he's speaking for Sylvia Rhodey, the last rat on the ship. And he's just like goes through this incoherent nonsense rant, and it's a bunch of cocky thank you for showing us that you guys showed us what fascism really is. Thank you for showing us like real tyranny. So we now know it exists. It was just like this really just like absolutely cheesed out nonsense. And then he loses himself in the whole thing. And at the end, he's just like, you know, and then this is all about the American experiment, which started at the beginning of time when it was created by Jesus. And you're just like, so that's the last thing I talked about in my speech is like, I'm trying to tell Sylvia Rhodey that you had this guy speak for you. It happened to be Joe's brother. And Joe's trying to cut me off because he doesn't understand Robert's Rules of Order or the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, which is fine. I can teach him that probably in court. But like, you know, if he wants to learn before then, that's cool too. But he doesn't know yet. And he demonstrated that when he tried to speak over me. And so finally, I'm just like directly to him. Okay, your idiot brother came in here and said America was founded by Jesus at the beginning of time. So how old do you think the earth is?
I really enjoyed that comment right there. And just to dial it back a minute, he didn't give a shit about anything you said. He ignored everything.
Well, that's who the people are, right? They will only
But-
hear. Go ahead.
No, but then he suddenly has a problem when I started addressing Sylvia Rhodey.
Well, of course he did, because he sat there complaining and Joe goes, I'm reclaiming my time.
That's all I would have done the entire time he tried to interrupt. I'm reclaiming my time. I'm reclaiming that. One of my favorite videos on TikTok or Facebook is that lady that stands, I'm reclaiming my time. I'm reclaiming my time.
Is that Katie Porter?
I think, yeah.
I think it
that's
might
her.
be.
Oh
I
my
love
God,
her.
fucking hilarious to me, right? And okay,
Reclaiming my time.
yep, I'm reclaiming my time, and it just keeps going. And she talks, and then I'm reclaiming my time, and
Yep.
and to me, I'm laughing my ass off
Yep.
because I'm like, I wish I could talk like her because that is awesome, right? Like, you speak, you sneeze, you cough, you do anything, reclaiming my time. See, a good day, and it to me, it's fantastic.
I did. I go ahead, Joe.
I'm gonna say there's two places, and one of them isn't that intuitive that you can get that from, and I'm sure that there's more than just that area, but I'm going to name it specifically. You have to practice speaking in public so you're comfortable doing it, but then to understand the level of comfort that you have, and then just have the knowledge that like you're in the position that you are and where everybody else is and what your rights are, it. You know, like just getting a feel for those things, that level of confidence.
Yeah.
I think you can find that in a lot of, and this is a kind of weird spot, but like professional video gamers is that like, and maybe it's professional athletes too in general,
Sure.
which maybe that's the only overlap between esports and actual sports is that you have to have that level of confidence when you're playing, performing, or you will get beaten by somebody who does have that confidence because maybe you both have the skill, but they believe in themselves.
Or you just turn into Marshawn Lynch.
You might.
I'm just here because my contract says I have to. Just here because my contract says I have to.
I just don't want to be fine.
And dude,
I don't want to answer any questions.
my
I'm just here because my contract says I have
he's
to.
eating Skittles. I think it's sponsored by Skittles, bro. Like, but anyway, so all I'm saying is like, so I have okay, now education wise, knowledge wise, probably not the best guy. If I got up there, every other word would be a curse word out of my mouth because that's who I am as a person. That's how I speak. Have you guys ever watched Trailer Park Boys?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, exactly where we're at.
So
We're on
he
the same page.
goes into court. He goes into court and he's like, if I can't say fucking shit, like I'm not even gonna be able to defend myself. And but so, like that's me, right?
If I
'Cause
can't swear and I can't smoke, I'm fucked.
I'm fucked. Yeah, say and then the other part, confidence, right? Like my confidence actually it might be testosterone, but like I'm a very confident person and I'm a very decent speaker because I don't text, I don't write, I don't do it like you
We know you do not text because when you text, it's fucking awful.
David is so mad at me because he'll ask my opinion of things. I'm like, yep, that's it. Like it's point dry, straight to the fucking point. But
Nick, what do you think about this? Yes.
right. But if you ask me what I thought about it on microphone, that's why I do this because I can get my words out. I can get who I am. This is who I am as a person.
There's a tech called Talk to Text where you can do it actually.
I do talk to text, but then David goes, "What the fuck did you say?" Like the other day, I read his text wrong. What did you want last night?
I go, what did you want last night when you texted me? He goes, McDonald's.
No, he said, "What did you need last night?" And I read, "What did you eat last night?" No,
He goes, McDonald's.
Question. Then he
I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? McDonald's.
hours later, I was like,
But
I
I
read your
did
text.
want
My
to add
bad,
that
bro.
Joe mentioned needing a new chair for his desk there.
Yeah,
Our previous guest at his auction starting tomorrow has a really nice looking ergonomic desk chair.
if you're interested, go check out Charlie's Treasures. 'Cause we'll give
Charlie's
that a
Treasures,
we'll
that's
give that a
right.
shout
I
out.
don't take a look.
So anyway, Joe, all right, so I was because I'm on the wrong side of things. I don't know if Ottawa Impact, I would join the Ottawa Impact thing and
Because you're a dumbass.
well, like I would join just to see what they're talking about and do whatever. I don't think they have a Facebook thing, but anyway, so
They're talking about stupid shit.
I'm on the informed and inclusive aspect, and a couple people talked about just the local economy, right? And they're like, hey, I have a couple people that are from out of town, and they canceled my Airbnb because they're not comfortable coming here anymore. So we talked
right.
about like the actual impact of globally, or not really globally, nationally. What do you think and I think honestly, I think locally is going to be a heck of a lot quicker impacted because we
Sure.
talked about the LGBT, or we talked about
Yeah.
the pride event. So I think that nationally, we're going to have such a bigger impact financially quicker than we are nationally.
Yeah. So like what I talked about was the immediate impact of just the news of what happened at the business level for some people that are highly informed. The two things that drive our economy here are tourism and talent. The talent comes to new industry, right? We're talking about the manufacturing industry of the future. We're talking about battery type stuff, the stuff that Gretchen Whitmer, like her, hate her, whatever, she's been delivering some serious battery manufacturing level jobs. That's been like our hotbed is we want to be the physical manufacturing aspect of the tech future of this country, of the world, which I think that's kind of cool. And locally, that's been something that's been driving us. But like that's like in order for that to happen, we need to pull folks in with engineering degrees, which means we need to be a welcoming place for a diverse set of folks from across the planet, really, and especially Asian and South Asians who are moving here to fill a lot of those roles, and they have been for years. So when it comes to the talent, that's the talent aspect, and that's not just the contracts, which like we never know why we lose a contract to a big business. So like maybe we figure it out, maybe we don't, but we will know when the talent stops coming here because we're watching them come here in census data.
And that's absolutely true. Like we see it. Okay, so West Michigan was known as one of the biggest hubs of healthcare for the longest time. Grandpa's was
Medical mile,
right, 100%. And so there's a okay, so we had a problem with not getting enough doctors. So we actually reached out to different countries and said we want your best and your brightest of doctors, so that way they can be the best at what they do. And so we brought people in because they felt welcome, they felt things, and they're, we're going to give you, if you're the best and the brightest in what the heck you do, we're going to get you here, right? Because we're American, we'll pay for anything we want. But I mean, as you're saying, like engineers, I mean, we have LG, which people don't realize how big LG actually is. Most people, if you ask them, hey, what does LG make? They're going to say a TV, maybe a refrigerator, right? Like, dude, the LG plant that we have in Holland is absolutely just beyond par, right? Like we are the number one battery producer for LG and what they're doing. So, right?
And that's the entire supply chain is getting completely Americanized. We're making lithium in Nevada and California.
Yep.
So like, we're onshoring literally, like as much as we offshored all of the automobile manufacturing, we're onshoring. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Keep going.
No, please. Say, and that's what I'm finding is, and okay, so things I get jelly over, right, is I'm actually a nerd in the fact that I love, so we were in a place called Holly and the train is literally steps away, right? And so I'm watching trains and I'm looking at my kid and I was like, look straight through the little things, you're going to see cars going by. That's iron ore, that's this. And then she's like, oh, what's iron? And I was like, look, you ever seen a barge? Remember we were in Saugatuck, or sorry, not Saugatuck, we were in South Haven, and like the big barge went through, and she's like, yeah, big boat. And I was like, yep, cool, they dropped that off. And I'm teaching her these things because I'm like, I look at the bottom and then you go to the top, right? Like the bottom people are literally where it makes it happen. Like my uncle works in Nevada, he's a miner, and he mines. And so I'm sitting here going,
I don't know this uncle.
David, he's my drunk uncle. It's great.
That's a good name, but I don't know him.
No, you haven't met him. But like, right, like, so I'm like, hey, this is what he literally mines this. He puts it in this bucket. It goes on this into a truck and then goes onto a boat, and they do it 1,000 times, and 1,000 times turns into 100,000, 100,000, then goes across the ocean. And she's like, no shit, right? Like her brain is, and I'm like, when you think about like the small scale, and then we look at just a product that comes onto the shelf, I'm like, that Barbie isn't just plastic injection molded. Like there's so much more to it. I walk my kid through way too many steps that she doesn't give a crap. But then like her brain just starts going, there's so much to this, right? Like there's 1,000 jobs to touch a Barbie, right? Like how they dress, how they do whatever, how they get in plastic injection mode, where plastic comes from, where the material to dress them comes from. And like, this is how I make my kid think, because I want her to be smarter than me, because I'm dumb as shit. Like
you are dumb as shit.
I am very much, like, but I learned to listen, right? And like listening's you have 2 ears, 1 mouth. And as much as I talk and you guys talk about it,
that's for a reason.
Yeah. Like, and
so you listen twice as much as you talk.
But I don't, I talk 3 times as much as I listen.
You do. I got feedback earlier going, the guy with the beard never shuts up.
So,
I kept my trap shut for about 4 or 5 months while they were out doing their nonsense because I knew they were going to overplay their hand on the county level. So I mean, like,
yeah.
And
it's
they
not,
did.
not always easy. Yeah.
Did you see this John Gibbs shit coming?
So I did not see John Gibbs specifically, but I knew they were going to put a sycophant in that specific position, and they were going to oust the old person, and it was going to cost us at least $500,000. I didn't think it was going to cost us $500,000, and they were going to put a rank misogynist in.
Right.
Like, it wasn't going to be that obvious. Like that's a, and like, what's the difference really, except for the own the libs value on that? So like, yeah, whatever. And I guess I just really, really briefly, the other aspect of our economy is tourism.
Yep. Huge.
Yeah. And like, when you're at a place where like we're increasingly welcome and everybody, it's not just West Michigan that's getting increasingly liberal. Like, the country's getting increasingly liberal.
Which sucks.
On social
What do you mean, which
issues.
sucks?
On social issues, like specifically, like the conservative liberal discussion on economics doesn't exist anymore in this country because of the MAGAs, and the Republicans' inability to fight them off. There's no fiscal conservatism discussion in politics in America today.
There isn't.
Sorry. So, David, I mean, your mom's here, stuff like I know you don't love your dad and his family aspect, but like, your best friend, he lives not too far away.
Yeah.
Like, my best friend lives in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
Okay. So
I would assume he's very liberal.
it's funny. Yes, very much. So
I would think so.
he's the head engineer for a company that I won't name
Okay.
out in New Jersey.
Okay.
Okay. I'll just let you know, he makes products that fix things that break on your body.
Right.
His husband
Yes.
is a doctor
Okay.
looking for doctor things. And I was like, dude, come to Michigan. Nope. You're Michigan. We can't be married. It's not legal at the time, right? Hey, I won't do it because the people that I would get hired by don't believe in me and my husband being married, stuff like that. That's why they're in huge. Like, the only reason my best friend doesn't live where he's from is because of the people that are this. Like, when you're not feeling welcome, you're not going to be here. So like,
You have the
The
choice.
best-
Still.
and okay, so like, granted, I'm biased because like, he's not the best and the brightest, but he will eventually get there. When his husband is old, like every good doctor is, that's why I go to old doctors. And I'm okay with going to like, granted, besides the guys that hate themselves and like they've just done it forever, like I will always go to old doctors. I will always go to old barbers, old doctors. Why? Because they know what the heck it is.
What's a barber?
Exactly.
Um,
So
I do my
And
shit on
see,
my
I don't, and I would agree
Joe
with you from a
Spaulding
barber
on shit.
perspective.
say.
I would completely disagree from a doctor perspective. Because modern medicine is so packed right now that I wouldn't trust an old doctor.
Yeah, I wouldn't even trust a young doctor. I just go straight to Google. I'm kidding. I'm so kidding. That's not advocating.
I know, I'm
did
just
not
saying,
install.
no.
Holy crap.
But the old
I have
doctor, I'm not down with the old doctor.
no, so like you have to be
No,
the new doctor.
you don't have to be.
Okay, so you don't. Okay, so honestly, go with the 50-year-old doctor.
Hang on a
The
minute
50-year-old
here.
doctor.
So I'm like 24.
Nope. So that's yeah. Go
I'm
on.
like 24.
Yep.
So it's like 21 years ago.
Yep.
And I take my daughter to an old doctor.
Yep.
And he wants to do some kind of witch doctor bullshit on her.
Okay.
And I went, yeah, we're not doing that because that's witch doctory and fuck that.
The medicine changes, has
It
significant
does.
changes like every 5 to 10 years. If you don't have people who are up to date on like the most recent ways to like treat conditions, you've got a heart problem. We'll just give you, stuff that we gave you when I was, a 25-year-old, intern.
Well, and I understand what you're, but again, you have to have the guy that cares still, right? So like, he's not he's not giving up. He's not just like milking out the money. He has the guy who does it for the passion aspect of things.
Yeah, you don't want to go to a guy that wants you to take leeches on your skin that actually sells the leeches. I mean,
Right.
come on.
So like, okay, so here's an honest truth. Here's the honest truth is I worked for Gentex Corporation. They actually had their own doctor. Okay. So I have 6 crushed nerves in my lower back, still have them, haven't. So I give him credit because he fixed, whatever.
Cool.
Okay, so I went to my doctor, who was a young doctor. So he was old enough to be my dad because I actually graduated with his daughter. I'm like, hey man, I don't go to doctors, right? I'm a man's man when it comes to things. I'm a man's man. I don't do this thing. And so he's like, hey, just lose some weight, you'll be fine. Okay, like, dude, I'm in tears when I do things. Like, I get spasms in my back. And he's like, yep. So I go see the Gentex doctor, and he's like, look, I'm going to put you on Norco. I'm going to put you on this. I'm going to put you on this and this. Like, I was on 4 medications. One actually was probably all I needed just to help the spasms aspect of things. But like, he's older, and he was just like, hey, I'm going to give you all the medications to fix
You want to know
you.
the reason why he gave you 4 things to take? His entire job is to get you back to work.
Right, and I get that. But the fact is, he got me to work, which paid my bills at the time. Like, where the young
But
guy,
you know, but that's
but the young guy didn't even look at me, didn't touch me. He just said lose weight. And the problem is, come to find out, I have 6 crushed nerves in my lower back. I wouldn't have known that if I would have just tried to lose weight in this sense, because I still would have had the problems. I still would have had the spasms. I still would have had
you also
everything.
would have still not gotten it from the doctor at.
If he wouldn't have overprescribed, I get that. But like, I'm smart enough to where, I mean, I took medicine and I was like, I don't like how I feel. And this one supposedly does this. And all I did was take the one that's a muscle or it touched the nerves aspect, methocarbamol. If anybody cares to know what the hell I took, look it up. It stops the nerve from having that type of a feeling aspect. So like, I didn't take the rest of them. I honestly, I think I still have them at home because I don't throw anything away. My wife might have.
We just
But-
went through the entire medicine cabinet, and
Yeah.
3/4 of the shit in there got thrown away.
Right, but like, so that's all, like, all I'm saying is, you have to go find the guy that will listen to you when you say, hey, this, because so the hard part is I'm raised by my
Probably
grandfather.
that young doctor you got is just in it because he's like, oh, I can make a lot of money as a doctor.
It could be, but like, I was raised by my grandfather. You know your grandfather?
My grandfather,
yeah,
your grandfather.
yours. You know mine.
I mean, mine's a piece of shit.
But
He's
like-
dead. Fuck him.
When did our grandparents ever go to the doctor?
Oh, I don't ever remember a time.
Right, like, my grandfather is going to, right, he goes to the doctor. My grandfather goes to the doctor quite a bit now, but like, as the man's man, dude, I as a kid couldn't tell you the time.
I had 3.
You know how to fix things? Brown noodle soup and fucking ginger ale. That's a Midwest thing. But like,
I had 3.
Yeah.
right, like,
One died when my father was 13.
nope.
His father.
My dad's dad is too.
My grandfather was Antifa, and he died in his 90s.
Nope.
And then
That's
the other
badass,
asshole
that's
who
hard,
was
huh?
the grandfather that I lived with was a total piece of fucking shit. Mike knows him. He's a total piece of fucking shit.
So, but all I'm saying is okay. So find the person that will listen to you, because if you, okay, so here I am. Okay, this is God, this is way too much sharing. So I am going to the doctor tomorrow. Okay, so ever since we got off the cruise, which is 3 months ago,
Yeah.
I have had chest issues.
Yeah.
I've had a nasal issue.
Yep.
I'm congested. And every time I go see the doctor that I currently have, which my wife likes, which is fine, every time he's like, just give it 2 weeks and it'll go away. Granted, it takes like a month and whatever. So I'm like, fuck it. So now, right, I go a month and I get irritated and I'm like, give it 2 weeks, it'll go away. Give it 2 weeks, it'll go away. Give it 2 weeks. So I'm 3 months into this, and every time
It hasn't gone away
and
yet.
it comes back,
Yeah.
and so I'm getting these ear pressure things. I'm getting this nasal pressure. I'm going on vacation in 3 weeks. Like,
Yeah.
I want this to go away so I can enjoy my vacation after my flight of head pressure, right? So I'm going to the doctor and I'm going to look at him and say, look, here's what I've tracked. I've eaten 48 tablets of sinus pressure medicine. Like, and if he doesn't listen,
And it doesn't do shit.
I'm going to find a different doctor. But like, it's funny because if you go to the Gentex doctor and you're like, hey man, I just need a steroid pack and this is what I need, he wants you to get back to work.
He wants you to.
But the fact is like, I can't say I know what I'm doing, but like,
So-
I've been sick long enough. Like, I'm
I
tired of this.
switched doctors
Yeah,
maybe 3-4 months ago.
that's right. Yeah, you guys did.
Yeah, because I tried to die last year and hang on. I tried to die summer 21. And
Holy
I
shit,
decided
it's 2 years ago.
it's damn near 2 years ago, yes.
Oh,
And I decided to switch doctors because my doctor was like, yeah, let's just wait on this. Let's wait on that. Nothing's a big deal. And I went, yeah, it's kind of a big fucking deal. You know, I'm still not right. Everything doesn't feel the way it should feel. My brain's not working the way it should work. So
Give it time.
yeah, and I'm not about that. So I went to my wife's doctor, he's kind of a little bit over the top.
Yep.
But I think that's what I need. So I sent a message a couple days ago and I went, hey, I think I need to be seen by Mary Freebed about traumatic brain injuries. And he goes, yeah, I think that's a great idea. Let's send you.
Yeah.
And I mean, I want to go because I have a history of concussions. And then I was septic in 21. And I kind of feel like my brain just kind of went into a different place. And if there's a way to fix that, I'd like to fix that. And there might not be. And
But it'd be nice to know if there wasn't.
it would be nice to know. So I'm kind of at that point where tell me where I'm at and where I might be able to get to.
So, but I guess to get back to the point is the fact that, right, like if you're keeping what could be the best and the brightest out of the area, out of the region, out of whatever, right? So my mom currently goes to Zealand, which is in Ottawa, right? Granted, we have the greatest hospitals in Grand Rapids. For some reason, she fucking drives to Zealand. I love my mom, but
it's a good hospital. I don't know if it's worth the drive.
right, but it is to her. You know, she likes the doctors. They give her what she needs. And you know, but I will say is, you know, when you're keeping the best and the brightest, like again, we're not just talking about hospitals, we're talking about engineers, we're talking about being the best in the country for the things we need. I mean, Tesla is one of the biggest out there. I would agree currently right now. Like if we got Tesla battery plant, like we'd just be absolutely huge. Like people, we'd live like the Silicon Valley, right? I mean,
You
granted,
know how much they've lost lately?
yeah, but and that's because he's just a dumbass,
He is a fucking dumbass.
right? But I can't tell him how to run his company, so I don't really care.
I mean, like,
I can't tell him because he's a dumbass.
Yeah, I don't think there's advice that you can give him that's going. Yeah, it just doesn't work that way. Like he's not a person that you can convince of things. I think that's even maybe that's what makes him a dumbass. It's just not someone you can convince of actual things.
Right. And I don't mean this in any disrespectful way, but if you put a symbol in your family's name, then there's a problem, right? Like I don't remember his kid's name. And I don't mean to make
that
fun
thing,
of,
yeah.
I don't mean to
No,
make fun
you're
of
making
people.
you're making fun of him, not his kid.
Right. Like, you know, and so it's just like you have something loose in the sense. Like honestly, I love Elon Musk because the fact that he wants to do solar powered shingles and the thing is he wants longevity of everything. He's like, look, Tesla's gonna last this long. Granted, it hasn't lasted as long as he says. He wants solar power so that way it's gonna, and he wants the shingles to last basically 100 years, right? Like I'm being the landlord aspect of things, like, you know, I want to put those shingles on because, but he's not a kind of guy that stands behind his word, right? So if they broke within 2 months of the snow, like he wouldn't be like, hey, we'll replace them for free, right?
Yeah.
They should last 100 years. Oh, I actually meant only in Texas. Well, I mean, actually, I meant only over in Oklahoma. I mean, wait, I meant over in, you know, like he's that kind of guy who will jump around, but he doesn't stand behind his word. But I really think like the things that he comes up with, because we were all kids at once and we thought about, hey, what can we invent? What can we get that makes us not have to work and do these types of things? So really, like, that's what I respect about him is he's willing to put his money to try to find the next big thing. Right. And I mean, if the shingles work, how genius is he going to look? Right. Like, granted, everybody's, and okay. So as much as people dog the fact of Tesla and how it's going and doing whatever, okay, do you really think that Ford, GM, Chrysler, and all those, like America's #1 foundation of cars, is going to let a new company just be the company? No, like now they're coming out with their own electric cars. All right, they're coming in, they're undercutting, they're doing this. They did exactly what they're supposed to do. Like, welcome to America, baby. Like, you're gonna learn quick. And he made all of his money in the beginning. He should have sold out, if you ask me. And
he's worth
but-
a lot less money now than he was at this time last year because of Twitter. Like,
say yeah.
I mean, like we're talking about burning money in a furnace. Like it's hard for me at this point where I am specifically personally to care about him burning money in a furnace like that, even though it's at the level from a human aspect. If I'm like looking at like Peter Singer, like he obviously like could have used that money to like pay for starving kids to eat. Like that's probably going to be upsetting. But like, you know, looking at like the situation I'm dealing with here, even at an acute level, where it's a far less, it's a significantly less total amount of money, where Ottawa Impact's build, you know, burning hundreds of thousands, if not a few $1 million in a furnace. That pisses me off a lot more than Elon Musk burning, you know, tens of billions of dollars that were nominally his in a furnace. I just can't bring myself to. You know, before I did care at some level. I'm like, that's not great for humanity. We could be using that money for human good. And now I'm just like, at least it's not taxpayer money, which is pretty fucking cynical on my end. But like, oh, and by the way, and I don't want to rain on your parade, man, but of all the people in the world that I've ever heard or talked to, the person I know that is the biggest Elon Musk fanboy in the universe is Joseph fucking Moss.
Oh, Jesus.
Is it really?
Oh, kid, the guy loves him, man.
Well, and like I'm not gonna lie to you, I still love the guy, like, which is weird, but I think
Elon's a douche.
But think about it. Okay, if Grand Rapids gets the shingle manufactured, because technically we are still producing asphalt, we're still producing. So if we can figure out how to be the battery for this, I mean, because I see what LG's done. Like, LG has grown so much. And I don't know, I don't remember, but like last I knew they're starting out at $19.50 an hour just for basic labor of LG. Like, okay, so back in my day,
they're good for us and they're good for the community. That's
right.
for sure.
Back in my day, dude, if you can go on 17th and you could buy a house for 6,000, it was the wealthy of Grand Rapids, you know, like back there, like you could go, I don't know if it's 14th, 16th, whatever it is. But I'm pretty sure it's 16th Street. Like, you could buy houses for less than $20K. Okay, now go try to find a house in Holland. You're at $120, right? And I get that it's economy and it's aspects of things, but like Habitat Habitat for Humanity, which is a great company, does things. The only thing I give them negatives about is they don't vet the people that are actually buying. But the amount of default rate is just absolutely huge. Which
Again, you look here in Byron.
Yep.
You're spending $285 for the cheapest place.
So I'm looking at a house in Byron Center and I'm getting annoyed right now because I can't figure out how to comp it.
How much?
I don't know. So
what's it listed at?
it's not. It's off market.
Okay.
But I'm telling you,
Whereabouts?
76th Street here.
76th Street and what?
68 or 76th and Division.
Okay.
So the problem
A little
is
cheaper there.
it's pulling all the comps from the next school zone,
Right.
which is only 140.
I mean, that's not out of the realm.
That's what I said, but I was like, it can't be true, right? Like, it's Byron Center. So, but all I'm saying is right, like, if this guy, if he can spout off, because it's funny because everybody made fun of me, and I think that's what I see in Elon Musk. Everybody made fun of me because I was like, hey, I want to introduce, like, when vapes came out, I was like, oh, I went and talked to the business thing, which I've given your wife the thing for the business so I've made great relationships, but I wanted to make like wraps for your vape pen. I wanted to do things I wanted to make, and they're like, oh, actually China's going to start doing this. Like, hey, and so like, I've come up with so many millions of business ideas because that's who I am as a person. And then if one hits, man, it works, right? Like, real estate happened to hit for me and it does good, but like, I love the fact that he keeps dreaming. And like, that's why, like, for me, if you're Jeff Bezos and you go up in a fucking rocket ship, I don't care. Like, you're reaching for the stars. You're literally reaching for the stars, and you're doing it at what used to be. The funny thing is your wife gets mad and you guys get mad about 2 billion, but back then it was 500 million, which is now the $2 billion of today. Like, I don't, like, if you can do it cheaper and you can get there and you can do this and you can figure out what it is, like, figure out. And the funny thing is we all talk about generations, and aerosol cans became a big thing.
Isn't there a better way to spend that money?
No, not
What do you mean no.
no, because you have so much more they can still
There's
do.
a better way to spend that money.
But we talked about Bill Gates. He spends that Oprah Winfrey. Oprah and Bill Gates, they fund, what is it, 39 countries worth of medical supplies
Mhm.
of third world countries. Like, there's people that are doing that. Why bash the people that are going in their direction they want to go? So, but I can't tell you how to spend your money. It's your goddamn money. Like,
I mean, it is your
I mean,
money,
like,
but there's better ways to spend it.
I can tell you that I respect somebody that that spends tens of billions of dollars to end malaria a little bit, at least, more than someone who spends tens of billions of dollars to own libs by buying Twitter. Like,
hey,
I mean, I'm totally there with Joe right now.
but my favorite.
I don't want to say anything radical. How can I say anything so controversial yet so brave? But
You do love the fact that he trolls just as much as you and I do. You know that.
oh, do I like think no. So like I don't care about the amount. Like, it's shallow nonsense. This guy is like red pill like full on like he's like QAnon addicted. Like, he's not like it's not.
Well, the fact that you move your whole entire company to Texas over California because you hate how their thing is, like, I think that's just stupid to say. Because
He wants to charge people
$8.
No, not just that. He wants to charge people to pay for what he paid for fucking Twitter. So I will charge you $54 a share, and you can own a share of Twitter, which is, it's just like owning a share of the Packers. Okay.
Right. Oh, it's worthless.
It means fucking nothing.
Right. But you feel cool.
So I own a share of the Packers, and it means fucking nothing. I own a share of Twitter, it means fucking nothing. But he recoups all the money he spent on a dying fucking media company.
It's I think it's better than a Trump NFT though.
37.
No, I got a Trump NFT. Joe, I'm gonna send it to you.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's the greatest fucking thing ever.
I know we're getting off the topic. 37 cents is how much my
Hang on, I'm gonna find
my
this
day
shit.
trade is up right now.
Are you day trading again?
Don't worry about it. But anyway,
I know you are.
so
What could you buy? Like, literally, what
Oh,
can you
can
buy?
you see it?
Yeah, that's amazing. That's my last name. So what's the first letter of my last name? What can you buy for 37 cents? Like, literally, like, what could you buy if you want to buy something for? You can't buy a gumball for 37. Like, it's 50 cents now, right?
no, it's a quarter. My daughter buys a gumball every gymnastics for a quarter.
Okay, that's good.
But
It's subsidized, not really,
each stock is up 37 cents a piece. Each share.
Oh, okay. So you're in multiple shares. That's good.
I can buy a fractional share for
Each
37 cents.
each share is up 37. And so, but
I own exactly one Dogecoin. Just so
I
I
don't know
get
how
the
much that is.
Oh my
notification.
god, I
Just
own
so
way
get
more than that.
really?
Just so I get one on my app. Just so I get the notification on my app to see if anything funny happens there. Because like that's gonna be like, if something significantly funny happens across crypto, like that will indicate. Like, it might not be the first, but it'll tell me. So I'll be able to see that before the reports come out.
Joe,
I'm
any
looking right now just to know how much Dogecoin I have.
what
It's got to be like,
else?
it's got to be like at 7 cents though, right? It's still around 7.
It's
Like,
around 7, yeah.
So dude, you could buy for 37 cents, you could buy 5 shares of Dogecoin. That's what you could buy. All right. So you're welcome. No, it's just we talked about it on not this last episode, but the episode before, about how I want to start getting back into day trading, because you can make a bunch of money if you do your own research. So David, ask a great question.
I love how you're like asking a great question while I'm trying to figure out how much Dogecoin I own.
well, I
But
think
the
we
great
figured,
question is, why is he so damn obsessed with?
we figured out how
Elon
much.
Musk.
Especially with these things, he's like, oh my god, he has all these. I'm like, are they really his dreams, or did somebody
No.
else tell him?
He
the
fucking
idea?
fucking loves stupid people. I'm saying it right now.
Because I'm sure it wasn't his idea to come up with the solar jingle.
Oh, not at all.
And he's not talking about it right now at all, is he?
Well, I mean, he left.
Yeah.
No, Elon.
Oh, Elon's not talking about shit because he's a moron.
Yeah, I mean, like, no, I think he's trying to keep a low profile and hopefully come back up a little bit for air and try to save Tesla, because like that's his brand. Like, So like, and he's got to pass off Twitter too.
How
I'm
much
not-
has Tesla dropped in the last 6 fucking months?
Like, so I don't know.
Like
it's-
63%, maybe?
That's what it makes. That makes sense. That number makes sense. And
Yeah.
like, and what, like, solid half that was just that it was overinflated. The fucking stock was overinflated, right? Like, it went over the pandemic, everyone was bored, and somehow it snowballed with some other stuff. It's fine.
Well,
But,
and how
like-
many other companies have come out and said now, hey, we can make an electric car,
Uh-huh.
and it's at least as good, if not better, than Tesla.
And why would you want to stick your neck out and be all like popular and shit if you're Elon Musk at that point with Tesla? If you know, and if you're smart, you do know that your stock is overinflated, and
Yes, you do.
it didn't take a smart person to do that. So why you stick your neck out? Because you're fucking stupid.
Right.
So
At least
he's
with
a
these other
fucking
people
moron.
making electric cars, they're all going to use the same like little like jack outlet charge, unlike Tesla that'll have its own little unique one.
well, Nick's back. So like, I kind of don't want to be like, I don't actually care if I'm the bearer of bad news. It's
Go for
not
it.
just, it's just not just that Joe Moss loves Elon Musk, and like, it's a serious man crush.
Man love. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God. But like, when do you think Joe Moss got back on Twitter? Like the date?
The
day
date that-
Musk bought it.
Hell
date
fucking
that-
yeah, that's what it
Yeah.
happened. It's a,
So like, right, I don't have a man crush that bad, but like I do have a man
oh no,
crush.
we're talking about Joe Moss. So
Right.
you're safe. Yeah.
But like I do have a man crush for Elon Musk, but I don't have a like I'm not that big of a supporter. I just like the way his brain thinks. Because so we go back to global or we go to local. Like if Elon Musk put a Tesla plant here. Okay, so Joe, what do you think about we're gonna go to financials. What do you think about Amazon?
Like, I mean, like
The company.
I think that Mackenzie's a very, very cute ex-wife of Jeff.
Jeff Bezos. Right. Like
Yeah.
you and I both want her as an ex-wife, that's for sure.
No. Like, well, it's a different situation for me than it would be for Jeff, because financially it'd be wonderful.
Yeah, he lost $500 million, and then if you divorced her, you'd have $500 million.
Trillion.
Who cares? Like, trillion, yeah, excuse me. So 500 billion she got, you would have 250 billion. Like, who cares? Like, just don't sign a prenup. But say,
There's a 0% chance that woman would ever marry me without a prenup, or anyone else ever.
no, I mean,
By the
there's-
way, I finally found it. Doge is up at 8 cents.
even
No
if
way. I have 8 cents.
even if she offered you,
I lost a shit ton of money, by the way.
like, I look at her like I look at the Mega Millions, right? So like if I can get her to convince that if every year I stay with her, she gives me 1% of her wealth, like I'm still pretty good.
So like I got to go like this, and then
Right. I say, there you go.
yeah.
But so like it was funny because I made jokes. I'm that guy that admits it. I made jokes about how I wanted the queen to be my next when her husband died. I was like, I'm going for the
She
queen.
dropped dead.
Right. Like, and I was like, I missed that one because right, I could have been worth millions and billions because the queen was worth a crap ton.
She
They own
was.
they own a lot of good land.
Yeah. I say I own some land in Scotland.
Do you really?
I do.
Am I going to go there?
No, a friend of mine bought it for me. Anyway, so like getting back to local, right? I want to know what you think the impact over the next year. Okay, so John Gibbs is in for how long is he in for?
2 years of like nominally, but like who knows what happens, you know?
Right. But like, well, and so the problem is he's not going to be here for long because he's going to try to run for a bigger and better thing
Sure.
because that's who like he tried
And get
to
his
do it,
ass
and
kicked like he just
we
did.
could hope, and then he'll fall back into his ranks, but
Well, because Stabenow's not running again.
it sucks.
No, he like if that man runs for
Wait.
Senate, he can't run for Senate. Like there's nobody that'll let him do that, right? Like he has people that care about him in his life that will stop him from doing that to himself.
So you just said that sucks.
Yeah,
Do you like Stabenow?
better than the other options that we have.
So you know who's going to run?
Ooh.
It's Buttigieg.
Nah, he's not gonna run.
You don't think so?
No, absolutely. He's already said he's not going to. It's like highest probability is Alyssa Slotkin.
I would
the-
totally go for her too.
Yeah, I mean, she's like the centrist of all centrists. Like, she's former CIA, she's intelligence, knows military better than military. Like, she's like senatorial. Like, people are saying like Garland Gilchrist kind of still has his hat in the ring, but pretty much
Okay.
everyone else currently is cleared out. That doesn't mean there can't be some sort of more progressive candidate, but right now it's looking like probably Slotkin with maybe Garland Gilchrist.
See, and
But
I love
Pete-
this because all I've heard is Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah, Pete pulled his name out. He says no. I trust him on this. So
And
Doesn't-
Joe corrects me right away.
Right, like, so I don't know. Okay.
And Slotkin barely won.
she won significantly. And like she was projected to barely win.
Okay.
She won fine.
Okay.
What I will say is okay. If I had the perfect world, it'd be, granted, everybody would be thinking to where I think, but like I don't want this.
You mean people would be fiscally conservative and
Socially-
socially liberal?
right? Like,
Okay.
I wish that would happen, but like I don't want the house to be ran by, one party. I don't want everything to be ran by like single parties, and I don't up top, like, whatever we talk. And granted, you called me out on the fact of
Mhm.
Joe Biden actually doing oh man, what did I say Trump did a crap ton of
The executive
orders, right?
Yeah.
Like, but so I want an equal thing to see where the hell it could actually be. But like this fact that here's my issue is, if you don't do your job, do you get paid?
No.
Not for very long, right? But
Right.
like, so when you have people that constantly just ixnay everything, and you're still getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to do this job, you no longer should be able to do your job, right? Like, I feel like, I don't know, I don't know how to fix things. I'm the first to tell you this, but like, if you walk in and everything for the first 6 months gets fucking denied, right? Nope, we're gonna do a revote, right? We're voting again, because things need to start having some change. Like, things need, and I don't care if everything becomes a 1-year fucking term. I'll still be the guy that goes to the polls every year, right?
See, and I think in the greater scheme of things, you're way more a Democrat
probably,
than I am. Because I'm totally a leftist.
but
And the Democrats are kind of right of center.
Mhm.
And I think that's where you are.
I think that if Michigan plays out right, like, and we end up in a place that reflects politically where the voters are.
Yep.
And I can tell you structurally the way that it would have to play out, and I'm not going to do that publicly because, like, it's a fragile situation.
Yep.
We end up where we have the Democratic Party being a center left, actually center left, and then a left party, maybe center right. Like, it's extraordinarily center. And then on the left, we have some sort of leftist splinter group. And those are the two options. Structurally, we have to have two political parties.
we have to.
Yeah. And like, honestly, like, the worst thing in the universe, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the universe if the Republican Party was not one of those two, and the two parties were to the left of that, like, at that point, because all of the baggage in the Republican Party currently, as we know it with the MAGAs, is cultural. It's all social. And like, if you could just jettison that conversation from American discourse, like, one, like, you would make Michiganders very, very happy.
And
For the same reason that, like, no, sorry, Nick, like, you brought this up very early in this conversation. Like, like, let's actually introduce ourselves before we start talking about politics and waving our dicks at that level, right? So Michiganders, if we can remove that aspect, that social aspect of the political, which is being driven almost entirely by the right at this point.
Yep.
We end up with these two political parties that are able to negotiate, like, how best, like, what level of taxes, and then how best to spend them.
Yep.
And like, when we're talking about those things, the rest of us can go fucking back to brunch and watch the Lions play, man.
that's, dude, like, nailed it, right? Because and I'm about that. Like, I am. And it's funny because the Roe versus Wade was the biggest thing. And I'll be honest, right? I voted for Gretchen, which I'm not the biggest Gretchen fan. Like, but I will tell you, right? Because I knew for a fact that this is what I wanted, right? Because to me, just like your buddy Mike, right? Like, a woman's body is a woman's choice in the sense of, because I gave up my aspect of,
Which buddy, Mike?
Mikey.
It would be me.
No, Mikey.
No, Mikey's an idiot.
Right,
He-
exactly.
Mikey's-
So me versus Mike. Mikey has his opinion.
You against him.
Exactly.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so I looked at it and said, "Hey, I'm fucking extending his. I don't get like
Yeah.
if I know one person that I beat, I don't care. I watched yours. Everybody else has to go do their job. I know one person, and I hope everybody else knows one person. I hope that we have one about it. But like the fact, like, and granted, that other chick was again goes up with John Gibbs. Like,
You mean Toots?
was that who it was? Like,
Yeah, Toots was fucking insane.
right? Like if she would have put, if she would've put an OnlyFans out, I would have paid $2.
I mean, she was cute and all, but
You
Right, I
know,
would pay
you know
$2.
she was, you know she was in softcore vampire porn, right?
she was, yes. I got yelled at by people that I said she was in that.
Go on,
Like,
everybody.
it's
Tell me
just
the
like,
name.
it's a statement of fact.
She
You
was.
you guys just text me the movie and I'll
He
I'll
was
take a
on-
look at it.
He was on Skinamax.
Yeah, but tell me the movie and I'll go watch it.
Oh, it was a vampire movie.
Joe's texting me right now. You can see this. He's
I,
like,
I have
"Nick,
no idea what the name of this movie. It's like
But-
it's a really fringe, weird thing. It's just like I don't know.
Well, then beyond
But
that,
all
Well, you
I'm
gotta do
saying
it. Like if you
there-
want to know, you look up her name in Internet Movie Database because they keep all movies.
But in
Right, but-
2020, she was also one of the ones saying that the election was all,
crazy."
robbed.
And that's like, so if you're that far, like I'm out, right? Like if you're but dude, we talked about it.
I
Like
guess if Lauren Boebert could be, an ex, prostitute or whatever, and
X.
I don't care how much you how much you
Like
make
so,
it,
wait,
where you
time
make
out. She hooked up with Matt Gaetz like within the last 3 weeks. That's a thing that happened, right?
Totally.
Is it
Yeah, okay, like
Isn't she
for
too
real.
old for
like,
Matt Gaetz?
yeah.
too old? Shut the fuck up.
Oh, she's
sorry.
too old
It's
for
not.
Matt
It's
Gaetz.
not. I don't.
I'm sorry. Some of us
like,
are
basically-
into older women.
Gates is into
she-
younger women.
Yeah,
Oh.
she's too old for him to carry across the state line. Apparently.
Oh man, that's rough.
because isn't he one of those who would
I'm
like
not-
to have the marriage age abolished and stuff?
Yeah, he would
that?
like that.
Uh,
Oh yeah, he likes the young girls.
I'm out. But anyway,
It's his
Um,
choice, man. I didn't do this for him, man. He made the choices.
proud of you. But
All I know is if it's younger than my daughter, it's too fucking young for me. If
Fact.
she's 27 years old,
I agree. If it's younger than your mom, like it's too young for me. You know what I'm saying? Like
my mom's 70. What the fuck are you
you're
talking about?
welcome. Like I'm not gonna lie. Selma Hayek, Jennifer Aniston, right? All these things.
No, they're in their 50s, right?
50s. I'm okay with this.
I'm okay with them too.
But anyway, so all I'm saying is, but let's get back on the topic real quick. All right. So what do you think that locally is going to happen to the economy in Ottawa County?
So, I mean, like, honestly, it's in the air right now. Like, if we have a significant cultural pushback and we box these clowns in and we realize that was a fluke, we're going to be able to culturally contain it. But, like, we're going to have to show a promise and deliver on the promise of ousting them. Like, and
Okay.
that has to be palpable, and I can tell you that, like, the community is on board with that. That's where we want to be. And that's across the board. So when you hear Ottawa Impact people complain about the media, my speech got replayed in a lot of places. I'm used to getting earned media. I know how hard it is. It hasn't been very hard for me to get my voice replayed in the media. It happens when like Joe Moss shows up and he's like, literally everybody in the media sucks. Oh, and then he just goes on Justin Barclay. Like, it's just not a great strategy. And all you have to do, and it's not hard, and it doesn't violate your morals, even if they're weird and creepy like his, to be nice to people. So, like, but he's not capable of doing that because, like, he's had his determination that certain people are always going to be his enemy. And the thing that blows my mind about this, you guys are around here, like, everybody wants to pretend that everything is cool with everybody all the time in West Michigan. That's the predominant atmosphere and attitude between people. And like, if you want to, Nick, if you want to fuck with people, if you want to troll people, that's the thing you play on generically in the area, is that everybody wants everything to kind of just socially go smoothly. And it doesn't have to.
Right.
Oh. And you have a sense of that if you're cognizant of that sense, and you can start getting more control of the situation. But like where Ottawa Impact is, like we have to like keep raising the awareness of that. And my one saving grace in all of this is because we played things the way that we played them, because Joe Moss played things the way that he played them, the majority of the population in this area were introduced to Ottawa Impact as an organization, as a group, as a concept in the last 2 weeks, in the context of them being really, really, really wasteful spenders who are also really bad people.
Sure. And I hope that continues and maintains, and I hope they don't have something else up their sleeve too.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, do you want to pay for all of this sign change?
Would you even care? Like, why is that a fight that?
No, I say like it doesn't impact me, right? But like, I mean,
It costs money.
It will in my property taxes, which I'll go fight and just tell them, hey, we're in an economic crisis, and here's the proof that we're in a recession because two months in a row we've had lows. Granted, they didn't raise interest rates this quarter, but they will again. And so I'll literally I'll fight because I'm the guy, like, right. And that's a tip for everybody that's still watching hours into this is right. Like, you can fight your property taxes. You have the ability, you have the right, you have all of that. You have to go in front of a board and they do it. Now, if you get enough people, guess what? Everybody's going to prove points to the fact that we're paying too much. So I'm not going to give my money to this aspect more than I have to. Right. You know, the inclusive thing there, one lady posted out, we need funds. We need money. No, you don't. You need to get your shit together and figure out how you're going to do this before you just raise funds to figure out that, hey, I'm just going to go tell people to F off. It never works. It's not how it's going to work, right? You don't own the thing. Technically, you're actually behind in this, right? Like, it's not who has the most money.
I guess there's a fair warning to be had here is that someday we're going to have a serious conversation in the state about Prop C and about handing out tax handouts to landlords, not landlord, but it is to landlords, but to homeowners in general, at the expense of renters, because that's the end impact of Prop C when it comes to property taxes. So we'll have to talk about that. And it's going to be a dividing line. I'd like that to happen in a universe where we're talking about Democrats and then some sort of progressive context, because like if it's the MAGAs in there, they're going to go full tilt NIMBY and it's going to look really, really, really bad. So for all of us, but like when we look at Prop C and we look at the amount of savings that Michigan gives homeowners, if the renters all knew and they knew how much it was costing them, they would literally riot. Like, they would be in the streets. Like we get this, right? Like the amount of money that we save by like if you're a homeowner that's lived in your home for 30 years and you're paying 1970s taxes, I'm sorry, I still think it's 2000. You're paying early 1990s taxes on a home. Like so you're living in this place and you're paying $150 a month at most to live there. Like, tell some renters that and see how they react. You know, like that's like we're gonna have a conversation about Prop C here. So.
Well, you know, and a good.
I'm saying that as a homeowner, like, you're looking at this place that I own and I'm locked in at my taxable value of purchase price and like turn of like the post collapse. So like 2014 is when I purchased.
Well, you know, and I live in Byron Center. I bought in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
And we just had a thing a couple of years ago where the township fought affordable housing for renters because they were going to build it over off 64th Street and Byron Center Avenue.
Yeah, 60, yeah.
And they were all up in arms over, oh my God, we can't allow those people to live here. And at the end of the day, I mean, you know, we look at some of the places. I mean, I got a place down the road for me that is apartments, and you know, down 84th Street is a trailer park.
Everything.
And looking at the trailer park, I mean, we had somebody on our show talking about debt that lived in that trailer park.
Yep.
Trailer
and they don't have a pot to piss in.
That's a tough one, man. The trailer parks are a tough one because, like, yeah, that's a level of affordable housing that does exist in some places, but you don't own that land and you can get royally screwed on the debt side of stuff on those things.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, trailers have become not affordable because you're looking at $500, $600, $700 a month in
lot rent.
Compared, and you're spending $300, $400, $500 a month in a payment on that trailer.
That trailer's not gonna be worth shit when you're done paying for it.
It's not worth shit the minute you buy it. It's like a used car.
I'm still technically correct.
Yes, I mean, I'll give you, but like,
I hope you're not
I'm-
thinking we're coming at you on this because
no, not
the
at all.
trailer version,
Like,
yeah.
I just want to come from a side, like, so like, okay, I know people that have made money on trailers in a sense of like, you're not going to make the same amount that you would in a house. I absolutely agree. Lot rent will go up, can go up, does go up continuously.
So let's talk about a real world situation.
Yeah.
I had a trailer.
Yep. And
We sold 2 trailers to get out of my fucking trailer.
No way.
Oh yeah, totally. I bought a trailer for 20,000. My mother had bought one like a year before I bought mine, and she probably bought it for 18. And hers was, at least half of the way paid off.
okay.
And we bought ours in 2003. We sold it in 2007, and it took both trailers to pay off my trailer.
But if you look at it right now, okay, so here's the combat to that, or find me a trailer that's less than 20,000 currently. Like, no matter how.
Well, yeah, you're not
condition
going
is.
to find it currently.
Exactly, right? So like, you still gain the inflation aspect of it,
Okay,
but you're not
I-
going to do
I
it the same,
sold it 15 years ago.
right? But you sold it for less because that's what the market was calling for, especially going into 08,
I mean, if I would have waited a year, it would have been even less.
right? If you waited 5 years, you would have been fine.
Yeah, but
But right, like, that's the thing.
I needed to get out and get a house.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's so if you bought in 2010 when it was really low and you sold in 2013, you would have made money on the trailer. It wouldn't have been as same as if you bought a house and sold the house, but like there. So yes, and things aren't condos. We talked about it, right? Like, your daughter has
There
a
you go.
condo.
Mhm.
It's not going to be the same as buying a house. Like,
Yeah,
she's
it's-
not going to make the same amount of money as I
Instead of
made.
making 25%, she's going to make 8%.
Correct. And I'm going to
Well,
make 25.
I mean, I'm gonna make 120% on my condo at a minimum.
Right. Like,
Well, and part of it depends on where you live. She lives in a not desirable area.
I would agree.
I
mean-
live in Holland.
Well, she lives in Wyoming. It's
Wyoming and
Prairie Parkway and Byron Center Avenue.
correct. Right.
I
It's
mean,
okay.
20 years ago, that or 20 years in the future, that might be Holland.
And
It
that,
might,
and,
it might be
and
considered.
that's,
It might be considered lakeshore real estate.
so like, the longer you hold things, and that's and that's called an investment, right? Right, folks. Like, you need to sell high and buy low. Granted, we had the high. We all lived through it. We all had the opportunity to sell everything we owned at the high. I didn't choose to sell a goddamn thing. You didn't choose to sell your house. You all had the opportunity to sell it. Now we're gonna go through this low. We're gonna go ride it for a while. And then I'm gonna play the highs out and we'll see, right? Like, I'm hoping that I'm smart enough when I'm old enough to be done with this, that I sell it a high, right?
Well, and even looking at my kid's place, I mean, if she decides, hey, I'm moving, if it's not going to get what I want for it,
You'll hold it and.
I'll hold it and rent it out.
But that's the other thing. And like I told you, right? When you bought it, I told you, make sure you can rent that place out.
Yep.
Because, it's not FOC, Jesus.
FHA.
HOA.
Oh, yeah.
HOAs allow you to rent it,
They
right?
do, yeah. Well, depending on the HOA, but yeah.
Right. And so
I,
that's what I said.
I enforce my HOA's rules, and my HOA fees are like $130 a month. I just thought I'd throw that out there. Like, this condo is amazing. I love this place.
Well, my daughter's is like 180 or something.
It's
Right.
this is a very small group. Like, and
Yeah.
I think condos, like especially small, medium-sized condo organizations, like, because everyone talks about HOAs, like those huge neighborhoods, like, and that can be an issue. But like, when you're talking about small, medium-sized condo organization, you're talking about co-ops. These are under discussed models. And there's other undiscussed things in the housing. We're not talking about when we're talking about design, we're not talking about bungalow courts in the Midwest, even though those are fucking awesome, man. Those are fucking cool ways to style little block areas of housing.
Yep.
So if you're like, I don't want like 15-story apartment buildings next door, well, fine, build some bungalow courts. Let's make some more efficient use of the land area itself, and then you can have some more homes. But like, we don't think about these things because, like, ostensibly the conversation is that renters are bad or that landlords are bad, and then it doesn't get further than that. And I think that, like, we have a real opportunity with the Democrats being in charge, and like at the time there's a housing crisis because the Republicans weren't like coming up with novel, like creative strategies towards any type of policy. And we're with the Democrats now, where like nationally and then specifically only in Michigan, like the real place, like there's some discussion in like Traverse City area, but like in Ann Arbor, and I'm proud of the work that I did making sure this has been in this direction, but they're like taking a very, very pro housing position where they're like, let's legalize some apartments, let's legalize some duplexes, let's get some developers in here that are actually going to build some homes and stick with them. And like at the municipal level, you got to admit that when you have the city government that's able to enforce code, like, and be a little bit of a jerk about it, like at a city like Ann Arbor, like you're not going to get the slumlords that you're talking about that are coming in and building like absolute trash. Like, so
I don't know if it's necessarily building the trash. It's allowing it to become trash, right?
No. I've fucking been to Lowell. I've been to Greenville. I've seen trash builds of like some multifamily apartments. So that can happen.
No, and all right, so like you're on the outskirts, right? And but those are so and that's
No, I'm agreeing with you on like you can
Right.
be slumlord out the gate, man. Like
Right,
that's the thing. Yeah.
but I will say when you go out there, I mean, those are the outskirts areas, and that's where I tell people, like David and I talk about this, and I was like, look, you have to drive 30 minutes into work because you work in Grand Rapids, go live in Greenville, go live in Lowell, right? Go do these things because guess what? Your rent's going to be $650. Now, if you want to live in downtown Grand Rapids, 2 minutes from your coffee shop job, yes, you're going to pay $1,500, but like, okay, 30 minutes. Well, what if you don't have money for the car? What if you can't afford? And that's where the whole work stuff comes in. But you know, my point is there's always an affordable thing to live in, right? Like I have a friend who literally works on a fry cart, right?
There's a little fun in your throat there, David.
He's a homeless guy. He's a homeless guy who has a 1-bedroom apartment that he shares in what you were telling, right? Like in Heritage Hill area, like these ladies rented him a room and it's, you know, $550 a month type of thing. Like he has a lock on his own room and he shares a kitchen with people. And you know, I was like, hey, what do you, because like I want to know what he feels and I want to know how he thinks. And he's like, look, it's fine, it does the job. Like I get it if you're a family aspect of things, right? And but like there is affordable housing, not enough of it, but like there's affordable housing, you have to go find it, right? Like, and you know, and then we talk, but then my problem comes is like when you're offering tax breaks for no taxes, and I'm sitting here paying, you know, $13,000 in taxes for my 8 unit, and you're paying zero taxes on 150 units, and you're bringing in more money than me. Because the government's allowing you to charge more money for the unit, and I'm charging less. Like I shouldn't feel like the bad guy, right? Like don't criticize me. And so I do play things based off of my opinions, emotions, and feelings. But I will say is like, right, like when the talks of like, hey, we need to stop allowing people to raise rents and stuff like that. No, like we need to understand that there's still you need to have it as a fair schedule across the board, right? When I had a duplex where the guy had it for $250 a month for a unit, right? He owned it for years and years and years. That's not fair to the tenant. It's not like, you know, I mean, he's barely, you know, he's covering his taxes. He's making $100, right? Like, but you understand that like when he goes to sell, because he's going to, or pass it on to his kids. And whenever that happens, a tax rate comes in, you have to get enough to pay that bill. Like, it's just kind of how it happens, right? Like, so unless you're going to go back to the government and say, hey, you can't charge me more because my dad passed away and now I own the place. Like, you have to understand that that's not fair to the guy to keep the rent at that price, right? And you're only gonna let me raise it 10%. So now I'm at, you know, 275. I still can't pay my bills.
Oh, sir, you're not gonna like the housing policies that I think should end up getting passed at the state level. I can say that much.
I probably not. I mean,
yeah, it's good. Like in the margins in specific areas, at least, like we need to have some severe rent control. Like that has to like happen in order to stop certain things. Now, you know, I'm not gonna be the person that's gonna be the thorn in your side. That's gonna tell you that like it needs to be like across the board, no matter what. It needs to be like absolutely locked in at less than 1% a year annually raised. Because like I know for a fact that like, you know, rent control, it helps a certain segment of the housing burdened, but it doesn't doesn't help everybody. And it certainly isn't a solution towards helping people obtain ownership. Like
Right.
that's not or where it is, but like there's a multi-pronged approach. And part of that is like coming to a realization as a community that when people become homeless, it's generally in a family situation. It's generally because of like a medical incident or a car incident or like a job loss incident. And like, so like you see places where the homeless, like it looks like it suddenly explodes out of nowhere. But what really happened was there was a housing scarcity issue. And then literally anybody that was on the fence at that point got knocked off the fence into oblivion, but it wasn't them. It was them and their 6 family members. So suddenly you have this happen and replicating a few hundred times, a few thousand times across the municipality really rapidly because the housing situation, you know, like the scarcity bumps up the price, the average price of housing just a little bit. So literally at that point, anybody that gets in a car crash that's at that level is completely fucked and homeless. And like, so that's why you see these statistics kind of come out of nowhere at that level. We need to be able to combat like everything. We need to combat at the margins. We need to make it easier for people to own homes. And I got to tell you, here's the bottom line. Housing can be affordable. It can be a good investment. It can't be both.
That's exactly it, right? It can
Right.
it can be affordable. It can be a good investment. It can't be both. That
Well-
is like no truer words have been said on this episode. Right? Like
Part of the problem with
You know, he should not. No, Nick should not get fucked because of that. Like we
Right.
need to fix it. Like because it's not balanced. But he shouldn't be royally fucked because of it. Sorry, go ahead, David.
well, and part of the problem with Nick is he has said for the going on 3 years that we have done this,
yeah.
oh, I have such a hard time. I should raise rents $25. And in the greater scheme of things, $25 is now
On inflation.
3%.
No, it's nothing.
I mean, it's literally him sitting there going, I just got to raise it a little bit, but he won't do it. And he has said before, I'm a shitty businessman because I won't do the literal bottom of the line of what I should do. Going, hey, you've been here for 3 years. I'm raising your rent $25.
Well, and it's like I did it, right? But like then there's the parts. I mean, it's like it feels bad, but like, you know, when I look at it, and again, when I talk about $13,000 in taxes, I'm not lying about that aspect. I think it honestly was $12,900.
No, I believe it. That's right.
$12,988 and something.
I've told
cents, but,
bosses
like,
to fuck off and walk on jobs where I don't get a COL. You know, like that's
Yeah.
a real thing. You like,
Yep. And so, right, like and it's funny because I never have to give my tenants a reason, but like I look at them and just say, look, my taxes went from $9,000 last year to $13,000 this year. And they're like, that's not possible. And I was like, all right, sure. So it was over 2 years and I didn't raise your rent last year, but I have to raise it this year because I have to, right? Because I officially am losing money because I have a mortgage on this. I have this, and this is how and if you want to walk through my entire notebook, you'll see that I'm losing money by you living here. And then the government fucked me last year in the fact that they allowed Consumers Energy and DTE, like our
Energy
providers to raise their prices. So, you know, if people ask me, it's funny because I will lay out my bills for them. And I just paid $1,198 for my gas bill.
Mhm.
Okay. Last year at this exact time, during the blizzard aspect of last year, my top bill was maybe $1,000. Like it was around
Do you
$1,000.
have to cover gas or
I
electric?
could bill it back, but it'd take so much more work and energy.
Mhm.
But right, like there's these things where everything's going up. Okay, so like last
right.
year my trash was $98 for every week, right? I'm at $120, right?
Yeah.
Like my electric bill was $56. I'm now at $82. Like, and I only cover the common areas of that aspect of things.
Mhm.
Like now, if you look at it, right, I just listed $400 a month. Where the fuck do I come up with that money? Like
Yeah.
I when I bought the building, I was losing $2 a month. Now I didn't raise rent for the times of COVID. I raised them $25 over 8 units. That's $200 a month. I'm losing $202. Like,
Yeah.
So now like I have to get in there and do this because if not, guess what? I'm not going to be the affordable guy. And some asshole that's got a bunch of money is going to come in and they're going to go, hey, you're paying $750, $800, whatever. you're now at $1,200. Like I'm making money until it gets to that point. But like I don't do things to be that. Like I'm not sure. Would I try to make $100 a door in the sense of things, right? So like that's what I want to do because I know that I have a roof coming up in 20 years, right? Like I have to, like I want to sell things.
Roofs happen.
Right. Like I have things that are going to come up and it's just that's how I think, right? Like I think long-term wealth, long-term business practices. So
No, and
but,
like,
you know, like
you and I think are in different levels too, because like you're thinking about like your personal finance situation. Like when I think about housing, like I am in a comfortable situation where my uncle helped me get a land contract in my condo, so my personal housing situation is fairly settled. But like I'm thinking from a policy standpoint, and like I'm having specific conversations and that are political in political context, and they're designed to make sure things get easier for certain aspects of the population. They're not, it's not a personal investment situation. So the fact that
Sure.
you're sitting here and you're struggling and you're actually thinking about it is like millions of miles ahead of most people that are doing that. And it's not just being a landlord. You got to think about like I think that we have an obligation as individuals, if we're trying to participate in the economy at a level where we're pulling money off of it, where we start realizing whether or not the actions that we're taking at that level are moral. And I think it's a higher obligation than just, say living, because we're dealing with the livelihoods of individuals around us. The fact that you're here struggling is a testimony to what you're saying. You're not here giving us a blanket argument trying to defend everything you're doing. You're trying to figure out the context and morality of your own actions.
Right.
Like in a conversation, it's completely different. Like that's like honest human, like actual work. The biggest problem I think with the MAGAs is that like these MAGA fucks are lazy. They're morally and intellectually lazy, and they don't want to think the nuance, the consequences of the shit that they're going through. So maybe you find some sort of new way to become a better, more moral landlord. Maybe you don't. Maybe you find a better investment that you're able to do that doesn't give you the headaches. I don't know. But the fact that you're sitting here struggling and making sure that you're not screwing people over, in my opinion, is a good thing.
Right. And I get that. It just doesn't fix things. But like say, but like things I will say is so that's why whenever they talk about rent and capping rent increases and stuff like that, like that's why I fight for it, because like I know I need it in a sense, right?
I mean, I promise that like if you don't have to be brilliant, but like you figure out like there's a law like that, you can figure out in the position that you currently are in a way to put yourself in a position better than your competition. Like,
100%. Like, and I fully agree with you. And my other point to that is, I think that there's a lot more people like me that people don't realize. The problem is they have what's called a property manager, right? So property managers, like, again, you are
your own shit.
Well, you are the person to make that person the most money, right? You want to make the tenant happy and you want to make the owner happy, and the only way to do that is right. Like you have to be here, and so, I wish everybody took control of their own fucking business and didn't hire out people to do it, but I get where they're coming from, right?
Well,
I mean,
again, you're not the best businessman.
I mean, right, in theory.
And I mean, same here.
Yeah.
I mean, we care.
Yep.
So we do things that are not in the best business sense.
Yep. I mean, so now Airbnbs, I know are a big thing that's coming up. It's changed people's lives for way better. Do you think that, I mean, just one person is going to lose out on people coming to Holland, Joe, because of what's going on right now?
It's not just one person. Like people are making money on Airbnb as an individual platform. There's like some discussions going on there. Like they're gonna get like if you've decided that Airbnb is your bread and butter and that's your livelihood, like you're gonna get screwed if you're in the area, and that's the fact. Just like my question is, a lot of the township board in Holland Township and a lot of the area around here has been flooded by suburban inns. Now we're not talking about Airbnb, we're talking about old-fashioned hotels.
Yep.
Like, so like what are the hotels? Like, what are they going to fucking do? because they have been backing these other assholes. You know, they're up in Bill Heisinger's camp. They're up in Nancy DeBoer's camp. Like, so like at the end of the day, I think that like the most interesting play that the Democrats and the left and the centrists that care about not burning tax dollars in a furnace should push is let's see what Nancy DeBoer does when she's forced to comment on the issue, because we're talking about a lady who openly campaigned at Lighthouse Baptist Church where that asshole's there, you know, all this, and also tried to distance herself in the campaign from Ottawa Impact. And my suspicion is that Betsy DeVos doesn't like Ottawa Impact because Betsy DeVos was establishment Ottawa County Republican. And she had attachments to the previous board. It was fine. Like things functioned fine statewide for the Republican Party. And then Joe Moss shows up. And again, my gut says that like, we don't have to drive a wedge, that there's an existing wedge between his type of weird baptism, dominionism, and CRC, even though some people like anti-DeVos people who know her very well view her as some sort of Christian dominionist who wants Christianity to take over government. I do not view the DeVosses like that. I think they are business people who think religion is a convenient tool to help them maintain control of government. I think it's completely different, and I could be wrong. But the way we figure out whether or not I'm right or wrong and what the best path forward for all of that is, put pressure on Nancy DeBoer in the 86th State House District and get her on record commenting about Ottawa Impact, because her position is probably going to come from Jim DeBoer because he always like does her messaging. And then he's going to get it from his buddies who are buddies with Betsy DeVos, buddies with the establishment Republicans, or there's going to be some Ottawa Impact shit thrown in. But either way, we're going to learn a whole heck of a lot once we force that response. So
Right.
the whole key is pushing pressure on Betsy and seeing what happens. Not Betsy, I'm sorry, Nancy, and seeing what happens. It's really, really hard, and I'm not the only person. I don't feel bad about confusing Betsy DeVos and Nancy DeBoer. Not even.
Yeah. No. And, you know,
it's like bedtime soon, right?
it is.
Yeah.
I say, as
I
always,
mean, it's almost 11 o'clock, so you know.
as always, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family. We've had a great conversation. Joe, I hope to have you back on.
Joel, I love talking to you, and at some point I'm going to get over towards you and I'm going to buy you a beer.
That's get me one at the Curragh. Seems good.
I'm gonna have you buy me a beer at the Curragh.
Talk about your beers there, Nick. We've had many of them.
All right, so I had a Spoony Love salted
Foodie love from up above.
salted caramel stout, and then Milwaukee, the white chocolate milk stout, which you enjoyed,
I did. It was good.
Belgian quad, and I had a fish fry rye with caraway seed, which it took me longer to drink that.
That farthest one over there too. All the way. There you go.
Oh, and then I tried
Because I had that.
the limonita love with lemon and lactose. That was
My Untunneled Art
kind of fun.
ice cream waffle pastry stout was fucking delicious. But even better was the Dew Claw pastryarchy from Mike there, the Irish cream dessert
That was
stout.
good.
It was very good.
Yeah.
And then I had Patisha, the bourbon barrel aged imperial stout, which I still think is something my people made. I'm gonna go with that.
Nick, how did you like that Tartlandia from the first episode? I don't think you ever really mentioned it.
No, so actually, it wasn't as tart as I thought it was gonna be.
It was kind of how I thought too
Yep.
when I drank it.
I looked at it.
Guys, this is really important. I'm so sorry.
Please,
Go ahead.
Is an ale a stout?
an ale stout? No,
Or is
no,
a stout an ale? Is a stout an ale?
no.
No.
Oh, that's really interesting. Okay, keep going. I got something for you in a minute.
Okay, go ahead.
So, no. I mean, it can be, right. So I guess in theory, I know of.
Because let's cut to the chase.
Okay.
I've been drinking KBS. This is the maple Mackinac fudge. It's great. It's delicious. It's very sweet. It says a flavored stout on this motherfucker.
And let's be honest, like KBS stands for
Kentucky
Breakfast Stout.
Stout. So yes, great. It's great.
They are ales. Porters and stouts are ales.
Okay, thank
The only
God.
difference between an ale and a lager is how they're like basically is it a top fermenting yeast or a bottom fermenting yeast?
Right.
Thank
We-
God.
we-
So we know the difference. Okay, good. Because that
We
makes
just
sense.
have to default to Santa Claus here.
Say, and we have to bring back the guy.
I had to confirm it because I thought it was right, but it was something I'd watched on.
Nice.
Are you gonna say bring back the beer trivia guy?
Beer
'Cause
trivia.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Brewed with
Do you-
chocolate.
Do you see this? Just look under this.
Yeah.
Espresso ale brewed.
Yeah.
Yep, it's ale brewed. Yeah, so like right again, as Mike said.
This says Imperial Stout. This says ale. And they're both KBS. So I'm just like kind of curious about this. I know I sound extraordinarily drunk when I'm saying this, but
they're
like literally
they're
one of these says
considered
ale, the
dark
other
roasted
doesn't.
ales.
So it's just a matter of how it's brewed and
Yeah.
So this is an ale, but it
Technically
doesn't
how it's
say it at
bottled.
all.
But no, I say honestly, gosh, this episode went way too fast.
It always goes fast when we're having fun.
Yeah, I say I
These were 2020. These were from 2020. It's important. Like, yeah.
if you want, I got
That's
some.
that's
I
a
got
nice aged beer right
some, I
there.
got some
That is a nice
2015s,
aged beer.
14s sitting in my basement. If you, want to come,
You do have
see 'em.
some
I have,
nice aged beer at your place.
That's when they actually started not mass producing, but producing them in more mass. It's 2014.
if
So
you-
I'm not going to say this, but I coached with somebody on this podcast in 2015, and they had ordered KBS, and they were at a we're going to say conference
I was at a conference
with
yeah.
Jenny Finch,
Yep.
and realized while they were at that conference that they were supposed to pick up their KBS. So they sent founders a message and said, "Can I please send my wife to pick up my beer?
Yeah.
Because I forgot about it."
I said I'm with a bunch of youth kids doing some stuff, and I was like, "Here's my ticket," and that was a fun little.
That was a
moment.
good time.
And they're like, "Yeah, dude, nobody makes up a story like that." And I was like, "Cool." So yeah, that was a moment of my life.
Good job getting your beer. Good job to your wife there. That seems good.
Yeah.
The MVP of my life. I'm telling you, like
She really saves your ass all the time.
all the time.
She sent me a message earlier and she goes, "You guys aren't drunk, are you?" And I
No,
went, "No."
not yet.
Oh,
Oh, guys, it's been fun. Like I've got to get to bed. Like I'm
Yeah.
sure I'm gonna have like my phone blown up tomorrow morning. It just
I'm
sounds
6
sure
a.m.
you are. So, Joe, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next week, even though
Yeah.
I don't know if that's next week for anybody listening to this.
It is.
So
I gotta say
Way.
one thing. I gotta say one thing real quick.
Yeah, go
like,
for it.
Like people might show up to try to mine this for like shit, like Oppo stuff. Like
Yeah.
just go fuck yourselves.
Yeah.
It's just saying for a friend.
I feel that way too.
I hope they saw the whole thing.
Fuck you, maggots. I'm just saying that right fucking now. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week, and I guess I got nothing else. Like, subscribe, share.
Like, subscribe, share.
You've dialed in.
To Box and Brews, you might hear something
You can use.
like tips on your cash or tips on the suds.
You're gonna want to
The
use.
smarts of these
Because
stuff.
they know the
And
brews.
they know the box, and they know they can't help the stubborn fucks.
So listen up, because shit's not funny.
Save yourself some
Beer money. Bucks.
and brews.
Bucks and
Bucks and brews.
Brews.
Bucks and Brews.